Like, you cannot be a gangster and an entrepreneur at the same time. You gotta just pick your lane, innit? So if you lot want to be gangsters and you want to die horribly one day, then stay as a gangster. I rate you, good, whatever you want to do. Yeah, he's always fight my virgin, like, and then one day I told England, like, look, anyone tried it, man, I'll just whack them up for you, fam. But I was more of a tool, as I was saying in Bermondsey. I was a tool then. They really liked me because I can fight, innit? So everybody loves a fighter. So my brother's come back, like, what? You let this dickhead do that to you? So my brother's gone back in there and just shot him in his back. I'm a fighter. I know how to fight, innit? I didn't even look back. I just bent down and just uppercut him. Flatline on the floor, yeah. Stuff. So I had a school gang, and with that school gang, we was like, we called ourselves WKC, which stands for well-known criminals. I saw it as a family with a brotherhood. So people I didn't want to be victim to the streets, I recruited them. People who I thought were pillars of the community or they're on their estate, I recruited them. Something to get done about this. Like my mom getting beat up, my house getting threatened to get petrol bomb. Like it was a lot going on, innit? Bro, to be honest with you, I'll tell them straight. I got shot in the back of my head by a friend. Not an enemy, not an up, by a friend. You know what I'm saying? So think about that, innit? That's what the game is about. It's not even a fashion no more. So you lot out of fashion, you lot that trying to be street. You know what I'm saying? It's gone out of fashion. It's like everyone is trying to do better than being street. Like, you don't have to prove nothing to no one in Peckham, you know. As from today, you're the baddest man in Peckham.
I'd just like to mention our sponsor for this episode,
the 20 Questions With YouTube channel,
which features interesting guests like a reformed triad gang member,
an ex-bodyguard for a South African gangster,
and a clinical psychopath who is incapable of experiencing guilt or empathy.
The podcast is focused on finding out why people
who had unique or extreme lives ended up the way they did.
And the link is in the description box to this video.
Check it out. We've got an exclusive. It is Zoro. And mind-blowing story from being raised in London, being part of the gangs, being like a founding member, shot in the head. And it's going to be inspirational though, because he now has a project in the music business that we're going to be talking about as well. And he's working on his book as well. So I know many other channels have tried to get Zoro on. So much love and respect, and really appreciate you coming on with us today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Zoro.
You're welcome.
And shout out to Nick as well. It is what it is TV for arranging this.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll have all your links below the video. So how did all this begin then? How did it start in London for you?
I first come to London at the age of 7. And we moved, when we moved, where did we go? We went to, first place I came was Battersea. Like, we lived in Battersea with my mum and dad for a bit. And then we moved around. Nothing stable for a bit until later on, I think probably like 90, because I moved here, when did I move here? I think in 92. And by 94, I moved to Balham. So I went Enfields, Kensington, all these places that we was living, because we never had a stable house. So eventually we moved to Balham, where we had like a 2-bedroom, and went to school there and everything. But before then, when I came to the UK, I was living in Enfield.
Sorry, where did you come from?
Ivory Coast, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before Enfield, when you just got here at age 6 or 7.
Oh, you don't want to hear the story.
Like, the transition, what was that like?
Pull out this year, at the airport, we came over to see, me and my mum came over to meet my dad. he was here already. So we were at the airport, and I'm at the airport with my flimsy jacket, coming from a hot country, and I'm freezing. It's super freezing, and I'm thinking, right, what's going on here? Then my mum is just like trying to hold my hand, telling me, because I'm fidgety. Like, I'm just trying to because I've always been a fidgety kid. I was fidgeting. Like, if I'm not doing nothing, I'm fidgeting. I'm trying to find something to do. So my mum was holding my hand, telling me like, chill, chill, chill. And I see my dad at the blue out of nowhere. He's saying, Papa, because I speak French, innit? So I say, Papa, and he goes, hey, petit, reste là-bas, y'arrive. It means stay there, I'm coming, little one. And then after that, now I was posted waiting for my dad. And then when my dad came over, he gave me and my brother a hug. Actually, no, I gave my mum a hug first. That's a lie. And then picked up me and my little brother and gave us a hug and everything. And then we went back to his house on the train underground. And everything was just like a matrix. Like, everything was just different. Like, first time on the train, like, it was loud. Like, the underground back in the days with just red squares, red and blue squares and all that. So it was just
Culture shock.
Yeah. So yeah, and we got to Battersea where we was living at the time, and obviously it's night time, and so it's time to settle down and go to sleep. So before all that, I went to the toilet to go piss. I went to the toilet to go piss, and what happens? I go piss, and then I don't know what I did, because I'm, like I said, I'm a fidgety kind of person. So I end up flushing the toilet, and I heard vroom. I ran out of there so fast and ran to my mum and my dad. My mum first. I walked to my mum first, and my mum came. Said, "What's wrong? Where?" She's come, and like same thing happened again. Flushed the toilet. She got scared. She ran. She ran, and then my dad comes out, some superhero. Goes, oh, what's going on here? And he just told me that, don't worry, man, this is the toilet, man. When you go poo, you flush it and it goes away. Because we was used to the dumper, like the one out here.
Yeah.
So the one out here.
So after that happened, yeah, we end up. I think we went home office after, and the day we went home office, I looked at my dad and I see me my documents in it, my home office document. I looked at him and I thought, bro, what? I don't know what possessed me, but I thought, you know what? Because I always had a bossy personality from young. So I said to my dad, look, give me my folder and let me carry my folder. So I'm walking around carrying my folder like in the middle of London, like I'm thinking, yeah, I'm a British boy now. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I was just, and then yeah, from there we just went home office, sorted our papers, and I think we ended up getting one of the council flats somewhere. And I think in Enfield, it was a nice house as well, like 3-bedroom house, garden, dog next door that was not getting fed, so I used to feed it all the time. And but my first day in school in that area was, yeah, epic, because I never knew how to speak English. So I'm sitting there in the class and the teacher's telling me to write my name. Bear in mind, I've never been to school until this day.
Wow.
So I never went to school back home. You know what I mean? So I'm there. The teacher said, write my name on a piece of paper. So I'm like, write my name? I don't even know how to write my name. Like, that's the stage I was at. So I thought, okay, I wrote the closest thing to what I knew. And do you know what that was? It was zoo. I missed out the one R. Said O. So I missed out the one R, and then there was a kid in the upper years, isn't it? That he comes to the class to help the younger kids, isn't it? And then he's looked at my paper. I says, "What's your name?" I goes Zoro. And he goes, Zoo. It's now Zoro. He goes, Zoos. I see him. He's trying to violate me secretly. So I'm like, I never said nothing to him. I never said nothing to no one. I just kept it quiet. Like, but within myself, I'm like, nah, this guy. I'm like, so I'm like, alright, cool. So I waited till break time, lunchtime break. It was no lunchtime break, and he went to the water fountain to drink water like you do, innit? And then boom, as soon as he got there, I snuck up on him and smashed his head on the thing. Remember, this is a big boy. He's in year 6. I'm in year reception. So I smashed his head against the thing and I ducked out and no one saw me or nothing. There was no repercussion or nothing like that. It was just, yeah, it was just to settle my own personal feelings, innit? Like, that's the way it was. But yeah, after that, we ended up moving. Yeah, I just ended up moving to another school. Eventually, just moved around in it. And after, I think the second school I remember was, I think in Kensington. We was living in a hotel because we still weren't settled. So we was living in a hotel, and I was going to school around there. And I like that school. The reason why I like that school is because they used to give us milk. Like, the other one never gave us milk, so they used to give us milk and crisps for snacks and that. So I used to
like that school because of the snacks.
And I had 1 or 2 good friends, but we ended up on bad path after. Because it was one day we was in the change room. Me and my friend, I think it's Philip. I think his name is Philip. So me and Philip, we were in a change room, and he likes to play fight. So I'm telling Philip, like, look, just chill, innit? Like, I'm not in that mood right now. He's like, nah, just. I'm like, Philip, just chill. And I don't know what I did. Sometimes I don't know my strength, so I must have just pushed him back like that. And he flew back here and smashed his head against the coat hanger and all that, and there was just blood everywhere.
Oh.
When the teacher came in, he's like, hey, he started just told off me like we was never friends. And I think they called my parents and told my parents to come and get me, and boom, boom, boom. Cut long story short, I never went back to that school after that. And I ended up staying at home in the hotel, catching chicken pots. And obviously me catching chicken pots kind of fast forward a clip of process of moving out of the hostel, at the hotel. So now we moved out there. I think, where did we go? I think we went to, when we moved out there, we went to Peckham, Arvidale. We was living in Arvidale, Nunhead, Peckham. And that's where like the little, no, that's a lie. Sorry, that's a lie, sorry. After there, we went to Balham. Yeah, we went to Balham, and that's where I kind of like started, I think I started Balham in year 4. Year 4, year 3. And that's where I kind of started finding my balance of being like who I am, innit, and just establishing me as a person. And I think what happened after that, I think me and there's another story in that primary school as well. I went through some bad luck. But, imagine I got there, we're in school, I'm doing what I'm doing, and somewhere, somehow, in every school, there's always top boys, in it. And like there was 2 top boys in my class that time, and there was some kid called Leon and Darren. And they really liked me because I can fight, innit? So everybody loves a fighter. So me and them, like, we were very close. We became close, innit? And one day we're going we're going, school ain't started, so we're going to school, and but by that time we're only allowed in the infant playground. But Dean decides to go to the junior playground. But I'm telling Dean that, and he's telling Leon like, right, come and go to the junior playground and play football there. So like, I'm like, I don't mind, that's nothing, that's not no biggie, you get me? That's walk in the park. And then Leon is like, nah, I'm alright, like, I'm not going. I don't want to get in trouble. Not knowing, I didn't know there was different motive behind it. You know what I'm saying? But we end up going, me and Dean end up going there, kicking ball. Not more than 2 minutes, you know, this guy kicks the ball purposely inside the toilet, yeah? And like, we go to get it. Both of us go to get the ball. And what do we see in the toilet? A wallet.
Right.
So obviously it was pre-planned, didn't it? So we see a wallet now in there, and then boom, he picked up the wallet. There's money in there, about 20, 30 pounds, split it equally, and the bank cards. So we split the cards as well equally. And then boom, like, we go to I go to class now, and there was some girl, Cassie. I used to fancy, like, I think my first addiction was light-skinned girls. Like, cause I used to like Cassie so much. I practically hang myself because of her. Because like
Please
basically,
explain.
no, in metaphor term, by the way.
All right.
Basically, I'm there in class with her because I actually purposely sat in front of her that day, innit? So I'm in there talking to her, like telling the Cassie, like, look, do you want to go shopping after school? Like,
Depends you found cash.
and credit cards. So I'm telling her, yeah, come. And this time I'm only like 9. I'm only 9, not even 10 yet. So I'm talking to her like, right, like, come go shopping after school, and I'll take you shopping, this and that and that. So yeah, where do you want to go? Just anywhere you want, innit? And like she said, with what? What money? Listen, I got my cousin gave me his bank card, innit? Like, get me, and I'm showing her the card, innit? Not knowing, like a div, if I knew how to read properly, I would have read the name on that card was my teacher standing beside me. So I'm there starting on her, yeah, thinking, yeah, Cassie, what are you saying? Are we gonna do this or not? And she's like looking at me like, yeah. Look at me all funny like, let me see the card. I'll give it to her. She goes, miss. I'm like, obviously she told the teacher, I still didn't know what I was involved in. Until later on when the head teacher came in and told me like, Laura, I mean to go thingy, like, and go and do the lines and all that. I had to do the lines, I must not steal. I didn't steal. So like, boom, that one. And after that, they called my dad to come pick me up from school, innit? But I think after a while, after I finished my lines, they let me go to the library. We had a school library that day, so we went outside the school to go library. So my dad's coming back from my home, innit, to come pick me up from school. So he's end up seeing me in the middle of the road, like, and he's cussing the teachers, he's cussing everyone, because he knows how he raised his son, innit. I was never raised on theft. Like, theft is not my sport, innit. So my dad is adamant that his son didn't steal nothing, rare, cussing them and this and that and that. And then boom now, and then he takes me out the line, and then we end up, he told me that, Roy, you're not coming back to this school. Like, so now I'm in it for good, I don't know how long. I think for the rest of the term, because it's coming towards the end of the term. So for the rest of the term, I was in my window, like just window watching, because I live literally opposite the post office in Balham. So and that's where it was basically like the front line of Balham. So that's where all the bad boys used to be. So I was outside my window watching everything happen, innit? And there was this kid called Tony. I just love his gangsters for some reason. Like, the way he just controlled everybody, and he was just
There's
authentic
always a
with it.
gangster called Tony. I've noticed.
Yeah, man. Tony was a little G still.
Big
Latsky
tone.
Tony. He was big as well. And then I just liked his style, and for some reason, when he used to come at my house now, he used to like me, like, he should rub my head and like give me a little pound there and then. And like, so yeah, Tony liked, man. So, and I liked his style. So it was like, yeah, just Tony, innit? Like, coming up to outside, at one point I wanted to be like Tony. Not Tony Montana, but Tony from Balham. But anyway, yeah.
At the time, what were your parents doing for jobs?
My dad was working, he had his own business, import and exporting. And my mum was a cleaner. And that was their job, innit? And so yeah, and then but me now, I end up moving to another school, like I said. After watching the window, watching whatever was happening outside the window, I ended up moving to a different school, like basically the opposite school from where I was going. And then when I went there, it was kind of a relief, innit? Because it was like one of my family friends used to go there as well, and he was in the same year as me. But I don't know if you lot know, see, some Africans, they tend to push back the child's age, like, so. Yeah.
So a year?
So no,
behind.
not a year. Probably that, I don't know, but I think his age must have been pushed back at least 3-4 years.
Wow.
Like, so he's in there with us, like, who's about 10, and he's probably 13 at the time.
Wow.
So in a way, he's like the Don Juan of the school. Like, so him and his because he's older and everything, he ended up going out with an older girl that went to our school, who was the strongest in the school. like a girl. Could you imagine? She was a big girl. Like she was the strongest in the school, and she used to just him and her used to be an item. And from there, like that's when man started discovering the skill of being a footballer and all that. And I started playing football and that, and just basically humbling myself down. And then one day, my dad comes to the school, goes, "Rah, I think we had a football match as well that day." And he comes to me in school. He goes, "Rah, come, we need to go home. We're moving houses." Rah, like all of a sudden, he's always moving houses. No, Dad, I want to play football. I want to go and play football. I was actually crying. I wanted to play football. Like I said, no, we're moving. We've got things to do. Like where. And we end up moving to Ivydale Road in Peckham. And then from there, like it was just, that's when.
Why were you moving around so much?
Because stability, we never had what's the word? We never had council house, innit? So when you cancel, when you're in temporary accommodation, you move on after a while.
Okay.
So it was more all temporary accommodation. None of it was permanent at the time.
That must have been stressful.
Yeah, it was a bit for me anyway, because I've never finished any full 2-3 years of school in any school I went to. I never did that in primary school.
Was it difficult to make friends?
Friends is not the issue. It's my learning ability. It was actually very difficult because I started off on the back foot in the first place. So it was like it made me like hate education in a way, because I wasn't good in it. I wasn't like as good and I wasn't dumb as well. That's the truth about it. It's just that I didn't know the process of doing things. So when we end up moving to Aberdeen, that's where I would say that's where pressure started become like, that's where pressure bust pipe in it, because it was a school of hard knocks, in it. Like in the school, like, we used to have a shed where we used to play marbles in it, and there used to be a lot of fights in there. And eventually, after a while, instead of just random fights, like people just doing dumb fights, what I've discovered is, instead of all that random fight, what we could do is just have basically one-on-ones in them sheds, innit? That's where I came in. I said, well, we can just have one-on-ones. Like, if anything, because I think at the time I was year 5. So I started telling man, if we could have one-on-ones, innit? Like, and that got played out, the marbles got played out. Man didn't want to play marbles anymore. They just wanted one-on-ones. So it became a sport now. So it's like, anytime we just wanted to like play fight or anything, we just go in the thingy, go in the shed.
If someone's looking at,
someone's looking at all entrances, because about 3 entrances. So if someone's looking at all entrances, making sure if the teachers come, squall or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and then stop. So we started doing that, and from there I became like I won't say a bully, because I wasn't bullying. I wasn't bullied yet, but I was more of a tool, as I was saying, Bermondsey. I was a tool then. So
a tool,
yeah.
Please explain.
Basically, basically, you know what you do with a tool, you can put it to use.
Oh right, okay.
So I was a tool, so I can get put to use.
Yeah.
So and I had a friend as well. One of my best friends as well, like, was a kid that was always, see, with me, I never chose my friends on your ability of how bad you were or how my friends was never based on that. My friendship was based on like what we've got, the connection, the chemistry we have together, in it. Like, if you could be, I don't know, you could be whatever, like you could be a nerd, like you could be whatever, in it.
You're a nerd.
You could be whatever, like, and we would be the bestest friends. Like, most of my female friends, people don't understand how we even become friends, because they come from a academic world, and I'm from a different world, and they're thinking, how do you even communicate? But like, it's just chemistry, innit? So with me now, I had my brethren Engin now. He's like a Turkish dude that always like he used to have a dodgy walk, in it, at the time. So everybody thought they can take the piss out of him. Because I think, when you got like, I don't think it's a disability, but a limp. So everyone thought they can take a piss out of him. So there was another kid called Desperado, I think Antonio. He used to always try and fight my brethren.
Desperado.
Yeah, he used to always fight my brethren. Like, and then one day I just told England, like, look, anyone tries it, man, I'll just whack them up for you, fam. And then from then, that day on, like, I think there was 2 twins, Mark and Matthew. They used to always try it on him. That was the thing. Enging, Mark and Matthew, just rushing him. So I got to a stage where, bro, like, that's even though Mark and Matthew are my pals, but that's my bestie, innit? So like, I started just turning against Mark and Matthew, and then and then from there, like, things just started spiraling out of control in a way where they started getting the older years involved, because I was only year 5. So it's like year 4 and year 6 versus year 5 now. So yeah, I was going through it, and on top of that, the year 6 they had dogs and that. Like, so after school they'll come up with dogs and that, and just
Breed? What big ones?
pit bulls, staffs. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
Mate, let me tell you something, yeah. I remember once, yeah, no word of a lie, yeah, because I lived in Avida, and Avida there's little hills in it. Like, so no word of a lie. Like, there was, I'm not gonna say his name because he's gonna try and boast about it. But anyway, one of the man them, and a few of them actually, they had dogs. They had, I think one was fighting, and I was getting a bit of people, and then the dogs came out. That time I went into dogs, innit? So I'm like, okay, you gotta do what you want, innit? Do what you're doing, innit? So do you know what they did?
What?
Fucking, yeah. They picked me up, dashed me in a bin, and rolled me down the hill.
No.
And guess where I ended up?
Where?
2 doors away from my house.
What's that deal?
I jumped out and just walked home like nothing happened. Like,
Thanks for the lift, lad.
yeah. Yeah, it was something like that, innit? But after that, it was a bit, yeah, it was like kind of like, it made me think, do you know what? Fuck this shit, innit? And I thought, nah, like, I told my dad, look, you need to get my brother back here, innit? Like, because I got a half brother, like, that was in Ivory Coast at the time. Everyone would know him in the UK in Peckham as Breaker. So I thought, nah, I can't be having this, like, get me, always being outnumbered, always this and that and that. So I thought, cool, like, get breaks down, because me and my brother we did a lot from back home. We even slept with girls together, even though I was only God knows how old. We used to, I wouldn't say so, but we used to like try, do what we need to, yeah. So we used to do a lot together for young kids. So he was like my twin in a way, even though he was a year older.
Was it just you and your brother? No other siblings?
Now I had 2 other siblings at the time as well, but they were 5 years younger, so they had no idea what was going on. So and then my brother ended up coming, and he ended up being the biggest rebel Peckham has ever seen. Nah, serious. Because see where we come from. We come from, like, see back home, the city where I'm from. We are the goons of the city, innit? Like, my older cousins, all of that, we're the goons. We're the ones that run the city, like, on the gang level, and whatever else you want to call it. Like, even our dads and that, they actually run stuff as well, meaning the government and all that. Our city, the city where I'm from, my forefathers were the one that founded the city, so all the tax comes to us, to that our family bloodline. So my family back home, they're already mad in the head, warlords and all sorts. Granddad was a warlord, everyone's a warlord. So it's like, I'm coming from a lineage of wars, like, and to even begin with, the day I was born was 1st of 1985, and that year it was the same. Basically, 1985 is the same year. It's the same day as my birthday. Write it down for a second, you will understand what I mean.
Right.
1st, 9th, 85, and then put dots on the 1st, and put a dot on the 9th. That's my birthday. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Spooky.
you see what I'm saying? Like, and on top of that, see, the day I was born, the day I was conceived, there was like a civil war in the city at the time. So I had to flee. My mum had to flee to the village, and basically my granddad conceived me, and my granddad was supposed to be a wizard, like he's a healer, like he was a healer. He can heal people and all that. So, like, he conceived me in it. That's why when I clocked that myself, no one else clocked that. I clocked that myself. Even when I showed my dad, He's like, raw. That's weird, isn't it? And then anyway, when I was conceived, like there was war in the country, innit? And but the day I was conceived, there was peace. Like there was full peace. Like basically, I think it was a war over money. So all the workers was fighting for money because they weren't getting paid and all that. So when I was born, like basically everybody got a payout, and I was able to move back to the city to get my hospital checks and everything. Yeah, on the same day I was born. So, and yeah, back to London now. So when that happened, I told my dad, "Look, you need to bring back bro, cause I'm here alone, innit?" And then he's come back, which is kind of like a downfall in a way, because he came back rebellious. He came back as he came back at the age of 13, 12, 13. So he came back as a bit more mature than me when I was here. So he come back like wanting to take everything belongs to him. That's how he came back. He came back like, what I like, I'm taking. You know what I'm saying? That's the mentality he had. And you know what? We was at yin yang, innit? So if that's the mentality, then we're running with that. You know what I'm saying? So, and on top of that, like, cause my brother didn't speak English, I was like his translator. So wherever he went, I was there anyway. So, and on top of that, I knew my brother was a loose cannon, innit? So I was basically his piece, innit? So I was like kind of the person that kept the peace with him. Like, be honest with you, I made sure my brother didn't die, innit? Because he had that, there was loads of opportunities that he would have died if I couldn't get to him. Like, if I can't get to him, no one can. It's one of them ones. Like, so the aim was to make sure he survived. And I think I did a decent job, even though it was hard. Yeah, and then, yeah, that's what and then my brother is...
What kind of things was he doing?
Who? What kind of things was he doing? Knocking people out. Like, for the littlest things. He'll knock you out for £1. Like literally knock you out. Like, not no punch. He'll knock you out, like, until you're gone. You ain't keeping that £1 until you're gone. Out cold. Like, he was a bit loose in the head, and he was strong as well. That's the thing about it, because I'm very strong for myself. I'm quite strong, yeah, but there's always one there's always one guy in the world that I can't beat, and that was him. No matter what I did, I can train as much as I want, whatever it is, I just couldn't beat him. But however, I never lost a fight against him. It's weird, innit? When we play fighting, he's always winning, but we got into one real fight once. But obviously, I know I can't stand toe to toe, like, so I just fly kicked him and punched him and ran away. I literally ran all the way to my house, didn't stop until I got right next to my mum. Like, seriously, the minute I got to my mum, telling you, pussy, what are you saying now? You know what I'm saying? So that was the only proper fight we ever had. Like, other than that, it was always respect. And then, yeah, he was just a loose cannon. Like, he used to just, let me put it out this year, my brother, like, shot my friend inside the block that we were playing.
What?
Yeah. Then do you know why he shot my friend? Because he told his friend to go and rob my friend. So his friend's going to rob my friend with the gun, but my friend has CSS gas in it. So he's gassed him. Saying, get out of here, man. You ain't built for this life. So he's run back to my brother and told my brother what happened. So my brother's come back, like, what? You let this dickhead do that to you? So my brother's gone back in there and just shot him in his back. I'm like, and obviously my brethren has run to one of my other brethren's houses.
What type of gun?
Huh?
What type of gun did he have?
Them probably the rebels, innit? No, them rebels. No, them homemade bullets. Yeah, there was a lot of them going around at the time.
And what happened to the guy?
He got shot, innit?
No, but did he live?
Yeah, it's
right.
just a shot, innit? He was screaming though, he's crying and all that. But and he ended up going to my brethren's house, and his mum opened the door and trying to help him and whatnot. And like, I mean, me and him had a big argument over that as well. And that kind of altered my brethren's relationship, because after that, we was never really friends no more like that. Yeah, we could say hello and goodbye to each other, but there was no trust. Like, how can there be? Like, yeah, so it was like, there was a lot of that going around. Like, I was actually trying to fight my brother off my friends, like, because he was just, I don't know, he was just mad. He's a madman, innit?
Were the cops onto him then?
For what? For shooting my brother?
Just for anything he was doing?
Obviously, it was involved in gang life, innit? So, of course, the cops was onto us, but it was for certain events it got away with, innit? But yeah.
So your brother then, does he stay around or does he go?
What do you mean? Oh, he's got deported.
He got deported.
Yeah, he got deported.
Yeah.
How old was he when that happened?
When you get to 12 years ago.
12 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was your life like before he got deported?
What, before he got deported, how can I put it? What, there's a big gap in it, because after I left school, no, after I left primary school, shall I say, yeah, we ended up in secondary school, and we ended up going to the same secondary school, and that was mayhem for others, if truth be told. But like, I don't know, how can I put it? My thing was, he was in school before me, innit? So even before I got to the school, I was going to the school, if that makes sense. So I was going to check people in the school and everything. I think one day I went to a dance in the school, the end of the year dance, and that day, the highlight of that day was my brother fighting some kid called Charles, like from ghetto, a different part of the ends, and him and my brother was fighting, and no Elephant Castle roundabout, that where not Elephant Castle roundabout, New Kent Road flyovers, and it was there, like, and so I'm still in primary school, and big crowd of people, everyone's fighting, rushing, like, it's just a madness, that, and I think that's after that summer I ended up going to the school. So my first day in school was like, how was my first day in school? I had first day in school because I come from Bermondsey, so I'm with boys from Bermondsey. Like, one of my brothers, Dreamer, shout out Dreamer. But I'm with my brother Dreamer, and he's like a gallus, innit? Someone that likes girls, and like, just that's all he's into, innit? He's into girls, and he's got a vocabulary for girls. You know what I'm saying? He's got a book, like, how to chirp girls and everything. Like, he's nah, seriously. Like, he had a book where he knew what lines to say and everything.
You need that book.
It sounds like a rake. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Rake?
Rake, yeah.
Yeah, he used to write notes on how to talk to girls and everything.
Yeah.
Like, so his game was tight. So yeah, Drew, this is like, that was one of my closest friends at the beginning. But after him now, my first day, I see some kid. I'm not gonna say his name because my brother as well, but I'm not gonna say his name. He must have, I don't know what possessed him, but he decided that it's alright for him to basically try and bully me for my money. Like, even though I never had a penny, I probably had, I think, 50p. That they tried to tell me, oh, give me your money, where. I looked at him like, nah, so you don't work like that. And I carried on walking, and he tried to grab me again, telling me, give me money, where. So I tried to be respectful, innit? Like, because I'm a fighter. I know how to fight, innit? So I tried to be respectful. So I know my strength. So I tried to be respectful. I said, like, do you know what? I just tripped him and just flew him away, innit? Like, and then he dropped somewhere, and I carried on walking. So now that's over now. And like, I'm walking, minding my own business now, and then some girl on a catwalk, because our school had catwalks, innit? Like, some girl on a catwalk must have screamed, he's coming behind you. What? No word of a lie. I didn't even look back. I just bent down and just uppercut him, flat line on the floor, yeah. And I think, I thought, yeah, that'll give them don't fuck with me attitude, personality, innit? Cool. After that now, yeah, Next day, another my other bridges. Don't think you're bad because you beat up so and so and so and so. We were in drama class this time, and our drama class is like on a low level, on a ground floor, isn't it?
A word from our sponsor. Do you want to know what it's like to hang out with the MS-13 in El Salvador? Or how the Russian mafia came to Brooklyn in the 1990s? Or why some Swedish gang members love to throw grenades? If you've enjoyed my stories of hanging out with the New Mexican Mafia, cartel members, Italian Mafia, you will love the Underworld podcast. It's a show about organised crime all over the world, from the first gang lords to the current kingpins. Hosts Danny Gould and Sean Williams are investigative journalists who've worked all across the globe covering the most insane crime stories. From interviewing cult gangs in Nigeria to chasing meth barons through the Burmese jungle. And way, way more. Mixing in thorough research and some of the best gangster history in recent memory. They're bringing you a new episode every week. We're talking Taliban, triads, warlords, drug lords and scammers from Brooklyn to Beijing and far beyond. If you want to dive deep into the criminal underworld with two journalists who have reported on it all over, give it a listen. The Underworld Podcast. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. The link will be in the description box below this video.
So he's come like, raw. Don't think you're bad because you beat up so and so. I'm like, I don't even think I'm bad. Like, I just don't want you to just take the piss out of me. And like, and then he's in the class and he's got what's you call it? People in the class actually joined to his tension. He's to him in it. So he's got that little authority where he's telling people like, raw, I don't like him. So people are willing to ride with him. So he's told one of my brothers, my partner now as well, Kilo. He's told Kilo like, raw, like, I don't like him with the rest. So Kilo just come chat to me, come chatting shit. So I told Kilo I want to punch him if he chat shit. So he's come dived into me and we're just fighting, innit? And then the teacher brought that up. I didn't get, like, basically, I wasn't satisfied with that, innit? Like, because he just came out of the blue, Robbie tackled me, dragged me, and I was just punching him and whatnot. It wasn't my normal fight. So I was so not satisfied. I was raging with anger. And then some cheeky, like, my brethren as well, we're all friends now, but some cheeky decides to come to he's not in the class, he's outside the class. He comes to the thingy, outside the class, he goes, "Well, what happened here? What's going on?" And my brethren, the other guy, the first guy I was meant to fight, who I didn't fight, he's telling him, like, this little pussy, like, thinks he can fight, man, this and that and that and that. I hear man talking about me like this, like, when, bear in mind, no one in that year knows who my brother is at the time. Like, and on top of that, my brother's batch was official. Like, there's another guy in my brother's year that was called Sam Kano. He was an official, like, he was year 8, but probably like the 9th strongest in the school. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I wasn't to be fucked with, but I wasn't the guy that would just tan away over tell everybody, yeah, I'm that guy, innit? So that's happened now. And then what's the name? What's that? What was I saying? Yeah, what was I saying?
You were saying about your school days, about the 9th hardest person.
After that's happened now, I'm in a drama class and this kid comes out and he goes, "Oh, what is that? Is that him?" And he's pointing at me saying, "Is that him?" Like, I'm like, I could see that everyone's just I feel like everyone's trying to pick on me in a sense. So this time I was raging. I just, "What are you talking? Are you saying my name?" I jumped out the window. Said, "Come then, come and go one-on-one now." And I didn't wait for him to say yeah or no, innit? And we just went at it. And I fucked him up. This time I showed him like what time it is, innit? And this kid, even though he was white, but he was like one of the strongest in our year. So when everyone saw that, like, everyone's a bit, okay, maybe there's something about this one now. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, like, everyone started paying my dues, innit? I think by the time I got to the end of year 7, the whole school the whole of my year, like, started following me. So I couldn't go to toilet without 25, 50 people following me. Like, I became the leader of that of that
The
year.
year,
innit?
yeah.
Yeah. Like, so it's like, yeah, and they should just, I used to be the one to take them to the out of town school trips to other schools and all that. So it was, yeah.
Were you good at sports?
I was the best at everything. Nah, seriously. From when I left, put it like this, from when I left Ivydale, because Ivydale in Peckham, we never had nothing going on. And when I left there, I moved to Tower Bridge Primary School. Tower Bridge Primary School is a bit more authentic with it, because they had football team, they had a cricket team, they had sports there, they had a bit of everything. And I was the best at everything except for cricket. I was good at cricket, not the best, because my friend, rest his soul in peace, like, he was a cricketer. Like, he was a very good cricketer. Like, and he taught me how to play cricket, and he even taught me how to rollerblade as well. Like, cause we came from I came from the rough patch of
Rollerblade?
Peckham. Just trust me.
How retro.
Trust me. You want to see me on the blaze, mate. Yeah, so I came from the underground Peckham to that kind of like / city life, kind of Bermondsey kind of like. So, but the only thing with living around there, like, because I was young, I was still year 6, and I was still a little kid, innit? So there was a lot of shit going on there, meaning a lot of racism, a lot of violence, a lot of like bullshit. And I remember one day coming back from school. Is it primary school, secondary school? I think secondary school. I remember coming back from school and seeing my mum on the balcony fighting like 4 girls. Like, I'm talking black eyes involved on my mum's side and their side as well. My mum's a fighter, she's like me, innit? So she's there punching up all these girls. Like,
How did that escalate?
Racism, innit? Because we was black on a white estate, and it's just,
What, she'd get attacked?
Yeah, I used to walk, and just walk normally. Be like, oh, African bubble, where you going? That's where we came from, innit? And with me, I was never a victim of anything, innit? So that kind of like drew me to the point where, Rod, you know what? Something's to get done about this. Like, my mom getting beat up, my house getting threatened to get petrol bomb. Like, it was a lot going on, innit? So I think eventually I just had enough, innit? And obviously I had a screw gang at the time. Obviously I was always involved in little small petty estate stuff. So I had a school gang. And with that school gang, we was like, we called ourselves WKC, which stands for well-known criminals. We just went around the whole of, we never had a specific area. We just, South London was our playground, because everyone came from different parts of South London. So that was our crew, WKC. So after that happened, I thought, you know what? And remember, the WKC guys, they were young, they were my age and everything. So there was no flair about them. You couldn't do much with them, because they used to come and visit me at my house and leave with black eyes as well. Like, so, because they're getting punched, they're getting beat up by, because in Bermondsey, it was a bit nuts, innit? Because if you got drama with someone, you're not really fighting them, you're fighting their uncles and their dads. That's who's coming for you with baseball bats and bottles and all that. So it was like, okay, cool, how do we tackle this? And I think that's when it just clicked in my head to be, I don't know, like, I just went Peckham one day and just said to everyone, I'm a Peckham boy, and just started becoming a Peckham boy. And just, yeah, that was my journey for being a Peckham boy. And yeah. But before that, there was my other brethren as well, Leon. Because remember, I came from Birmingham, so we was coming from the backbone of racism. So we was...
Whoops.
So we come from the backbone of racism. So it was that.
You're right to turn it off.
Yeah, I was.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Otherwise, I'll just keep going. So people hear about postcode wars, and it's very confusing, perhaps, for people like in America to understand how all the neighborhoods are divided in London. So when you was a kid, how were the neighborhoods divided in London? Were some streets safe Were some streets unsafe?
Obviously, I'm coming from the beginning of stages, isn't it? And the beginning stages that I'm originally from Bermondsey, which is more predominantly white, like Millwall, that kind of background, and not far from like basically the road that stops Peckham and Bermondsey joining is Old Kent Road, and Old Kent Road is a long road, and so you got Old Kent Road, and then you got Peckham on the side. And then you have Wolford on the other side of Old Kent Road. Then you got Elephant at the end of Old Kent Road. And then after all these areas, you got the Ops, who is Ghetto or New Cross of Old Kent Road. Like, so New Cross, Old Kent Road is like, that's where the other side of Peckham came from. Like, but yeah, postcode wall. To be honest with you,
Just gonna put your mic a bit closer.
to be honest with you, like in my era, it wasn't so much postcodes, it was more borough.
Boroughs.
Like, it's because the way man done it, because my era is different from any other era, innit? So I can't speak for the generation on top of me. I can only speak for my generation because it's what I've finessed my generation. So I can only talk for my generation. My generation was that. Remember, I'm coming from Bermondsey. So before I get to Bermondsey, I got all these areas to pass in it. Because them times it was more walking to everywhere. So before I come out of Bermondsey, I'm passing Old Kent Road, I'm passing Wolf Road, I'm passing all these estates, all these places. And at the time, I just established myself as a ringleader. So I'm recruiting people.
So how old are you at this point? Because you're 36 now, aren't you?
I'm 36 now. But I'm like, when the first 14, no, actually that's a lie. 13 is when I first joined Peckham Boys, but I was in the year, I was in the, what do you call it? The generation above. So I was still the young G of that generation. So I was at the same time, we were all levels. It wasn't like, yeah, because you're young, but that was my brother's generation. And that was basically, I brought my brother into that generation anyway. Like, from that day when I told you I went Peckham and I saw people and I said, right, I'm a Peckham boy and this and that and that. And then, yeah, from that generation, you had my brother's generation. And after that, my brother's generation, it was my generation, which I wasn't a part of at the time. It didn't exist before, man. So my brother's generation was the new young boys on the block, like the new YPB. So we had basically, like, after that happened, after that generation came, it's like one day, let me tell you a story actually, how my generation came across. I think my brethren, Corrupt, I have to big him up as well, Corrupt. Like, he was coming from Peckham Post. Like, that's where we go, gym and Peckham Library, everything is around there. Like, it's basically the heart of Peckham. He's coming from Peckham Post, and there was these little young G's on the block. Like, they were supposed to be the new young G's on the block. So they're seeing him, and then they're trying to chase him down, innit? Like, as a joke, innit? Because the olders against youngers. So like, he's run off and everything, and then he's gone to a party that we was in, and basically he's got to the party to, oh, you man, you know the youngers are outside trying to run man down and this and that and that. And like, obviously the arse lot came out, and then we started chasing the youngers down, innit? And then I think a couple of them tried to trick me, innit? Like, what's his name? A couple of them trying to trick me, saying like, rah, like, come to the thing, innit? Come to the park, innit? Because there's a corner in it. So come to the park. Me, I'm very, what's the word? I'm ignorant, innit? So I believe I'm the shit. Like, seriously. Like, seriously. I believe I'm that guy, innit? So if you tell me come there, I'm not gonna be like, might be something around the corner that I'm not expecting. So I'm thinking, all right, cool, whatever's in the corner, I'm gonna knock it out. Like, so I bust the corner now, and guess what I see? A bag of them. See the new youngers, there's a good 12, 15 of them. I'm like, yeah, and do you know what they're saying to me? Yeah, you see who you are now, innit? Like, what are you saying now? I'm like, look at them thinking, do you not know who I am? Like,
Yeah.
mate, listen, yeah. I had manual headlock, I had non-skinny headlock, I had this guy in the leg lock, I had this guy leg lock, I had this guy thrown on the floor. Like every single one of them was at the game, innit?
Wow.
Like
Wow.
fully took every one of them out, yeah. And at the end of it, they said, Razi, you're our age, you know, you should come join us. Like, we need you. And that's when I became YYP, because my brethren, he's my best friend now. Like, I think after that, I must have seen him, innit? Because I didn't punch him up, because my brother punched him up instead, because he went the other way. He went different directions, so my brother punched him up. So he see me now, he goes, Ralph, like, Ralph, you're our age, you should be in our batch. Where? And I liked him, you get me? Because his aura was nice. I liked him. So I said, Raj, you know what? I'll fuck with you, innit? But take my number, innit? Them days, it was house phone days. There weren't no
I
mobile
remember
phone in
them.
the picture. It was house phone days. So he took my number, and then, yeah, like, told me that we're gonna link up on this and that. And that. I think that day was the first day YPB was made, innit? I think they went Bromley that day, and after Bromley they came and met me, innit? And that's where YYPB was made, like that specific day. And
Sorry, what was made?
YYPB, Younger Younger Peckham Boys,
Right.
because there was Younger Peckham Boys, and then there's Younger Peckham Boys, and then, yeah, that batch was made, and yeah, we just became a family, innit? And with the team that was already there, I kind of branched it out. Like, so basically, there was already a good 50, like, there's a good 20 of us, 30. And what I did now, I quadrupled the numbers, innit? Like, because my thing was, the more numbers we had, the more scary we were to the other side. Like, that was my thing, innit? And with me, another thing is with me, like, I didn't join the gang for the same reason everyone else did, innit? So I saw it as a family with a brotherhood. So people I didn't want to be victim to the streets, I recruited them. People who I thought were pillars of the community or they're on their estate, I recruited them. Like, so it was like trying to build a community, because you could be a nerd, yeah, but you may have something in you that we
They can
don't
bring
have,
something
innit?
to the
Yeah,
table,
like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because some of these nerds that we used to write off back in the days, they're the ones that's running the world today. Like, let's be real with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And I would like to have, I also, like, now, most of my friends, like, I got different generations I got different type of friends, innit? I got friends that are doctors. I got friends that are like solicitors. I got friends that are just that done certain things, innit? That are in winning positions, not just the gang life. Because I never looked at just people that had good, what's the word I'm looking for? Potential in gangster life. I never just looked at them. I just looked at, because I was trying to build an empire, in, if truth be told, from a year high. Because after my first prison sentence, to be honest with you, because I went jail, what, 15? Like, I think just I was going to year 11, I went jail. So instead of going to year 11, I went prison. So when I came out with no GCSEs, no nothing. So all my friends done their GCSEs and everything, and I'm just there like a headless chicken. So my thing was, right, a couple of my friends are doing music and entertainment, so I was trying to do something with them. And then I came up with the idea that eventually I came up with the idea of doing a DVD, because I used to watch a lot of American stuff, like, Smack DVD, them kind of things. So, and around the time at the time, our side of South had no attention. Like, basically, the only people that had attention in South London was PDC and West London mainly. So our part of South, nobody knew us, innit? Nobody rated us. They used to call us, because we had some MCs here from our town that were called LMS or something, like ladies men or something.
Ladies' men.
Yeah, and that's how soft that name sounds. So automatically, the rest of London thought we were soft. Like, so they see in East London, they used to say, "Raw, South man's are like Nelly, and East London man them are like 50
Boys to
cents.
men.
No, 50 cents. They try to class themselves 50 cents, and we're like Nelly." So I'm like, nah, sir, it don't work like that. So after that, I thought, you know what? Let me put my ends on the map. And me and my Virgin Kilo, we came up with an idea of making a Block Patrol DVD, and which was just going around filming everywhere that's got an art. like I can rap or sing, whatever, just filming everybody and putting it all on one, because no one around our town had any exposure at the time. So that was man's avenue. So from young, I was trying to get out of crime, but it wasn't happening for me. Like, cause soon after that, like I think a year after that, I think that's when I got shot, innit?
Before you got shot, why did you go to prison in the first place?
Yeah.
Well, just my school snitched on me.
Okay.
Basically, remember I told you I used to go to other schools and hop out on schools
Visit
and
them.
that. Yeah. So this is what happened. Now, one day I was going to a Woolworth. Funny enough, I went to Woolworth, and I went to see my girlfriend. Like, and this idiot decides to try to embarrass me, telling me, "Oh, you robbed me the other day, rare, this and that." I'm like, bro, just go away, man. Can't you see I'm trying to finesse a thing here? And like, no, man, you took the rare. It's come with 3-4 boys. Like, and I'm thinking to myself, does this kid know what he's getting himself into? Like, I'm not the one in it. And like, he was so adamant on like trying to get a result out of this, innit? But when his friends came and they realized who it was that he was arguing with, they kind of backed away from him. So they kind of left him. So like he's still trying to bad me up. Like, I'm like, is this guy alright, bro? And I just switched. You know, back in the, this would be Lucas's bottles, yeah, they were glass bottles.
Were they glass?
Yeah.
I only remember them plastic.
No, they were glass.
Oh.
So I switched on him, and I grabbed the bottle, and I think I felt sorry for the kids when I come to think about it, yeah, because like people that I didn't even know was joining in to back me. There's people coming off the bus that was joining in, like just because they know it's me involved. Like I only got one hit, just a bottle, but his whole structure got dismantled after that. Like, and nothing to glamorize. Like, but I did my time for it. So like that's basically, and after that now I got away with it that day. Now the kids obviously told the school went to the police, went to my school, asked about Zoro and this and that and that. And then one day I just wake up with police outside my door. And he even bought the shirt that the kid bought his shirt to court, innit? And his shirt was full of stains. And that wasn't gonna help me in my case, innit?
Did your power on the streets transfer over to the prison?
To be honest with you, yeah, I'm a what do you call it? See, if I go, I'm a sacred person. Someone I just keep I keep my things to myself, innit? So I can always start brand new wherever I go. I believe you can put me anywhere on God's green earth, I'll triple my worth. That's the way I am, innit? So any prison sentence I've ever been on, I've never gone there and say, yeah, I'm this guy. I've never said that. What's happened is I've remained humble and just thrive my own personality, and it's my personality. I can't change that. So I am who I am, innit? So it's eventually when someone will come in and say, raw, that's blah, blah, blah. And that's when everyone else will acknowledge, raw, that's blah, blah, blah. But before that, it's just who I am is who you see, innit? Like, so it wasn't, my fame from road wasn't the one I brought to jail. So everything was always brand new wherever I went. So if anywhere I went, I was just always started brand new. I wasn't trying to live off the past.
So what was it like in prison? First time, 15?
15, oof. That one there, to be honest with you, the bus trip was fun. Nah, I'm not even glamorizing it, but remember, I'm still young and I'm still in my element as a young kid. So all this is at the time, it's all fun to me.
Were you not scared?
No, hell no. I was aging to see what was going on inside. Like I was like, bro, I want to know what's going on inside, innit? But the only time I tell you when I did get scared, when I did get a bit paranoid though, when I got banged up behind my door now, and the window warriors, oh my lord, them window warriors are horrible people.
What sort of things did they say? Shout.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. Don't worry. Obviously, they see my height and everything, innit? When I'm coming into the jail, innit? So the survey boys have seen my height and everything. You know, normally you got the survey boy that's the last to bang up and that. So they've seen my height and everything. So they're thinking little guy and no drama in it. So yeah, some guy called Grant. I'll say his name, bro. Grant.
Grant.
Like he's upstairs screaming, "Oi, new boy!" That's not me, is it? So I kept it. So I was humble. "Oi, new boy, run to your window." He never said come to your window. He said run to your window. Literally trying to buoy me off, like. And I thought, bro, like, is mama talking to me? And can't be talking to me. So I kept my cool. And I kept him screaming at my neck, screaming, "New boy," and said my cell number. Listen, oi, you talking to me? Do you know what? I said the magic word. In jail, there's magic word you do not say. Suck your mother. Never say that in jail, innit? So that's the first thing I say. Suck your M's. And mate, I don't know, like, he was on to me after that. He must have been saying, "Raw, new boy." He put his hand out the window. "See when I see you tomorrow, I told you what, I'm gonna smash you in." I'm like, okay, this sounds a bit scary. Like, and he's asking me questions like, where you from? Tell him from Peckham. He goes, "Do you know Quasi?" See, I know Quasi, but the Quasi that I knew would never be in the YY. You know what I'm saying? Because he's too old for us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, Quasi's here. So he's saying like, right, like, I don't know if he's in here, then I couldn't know him. You know what I'm saying? So the maths didn't add up. So you say me, like, so you're a fake Peckham boy, you're fake Zoro with one R. Like, who are you really? Like, I'm not gonna lie, this guy was putting pressure in behind the door, fam. I'm thinking, raw, like, this is gonna be peak for when I get out of the cell, fam. And lucky for me, the Quasi guy he's talking about was another guy from my area called Big Larry. He was Mandem.
Can you explain what a quasi is?
Quasi, it's a name.
Quasi.
Someone's name.
How do you spell that?
I have no idea. It's a Ghanaian name.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
I think, is it Sunday? I don't know. It means, because they're named after a day of the week, innit? So I don't know what day it is.
Hopefully not on Monday, they suck.
Huh? I think it might be Monday, you know?
No.
I think it might be Monday. I don't know. Someone in the comments might G-check me and tell me what day it was.
Oh, they will. They'll be in the comments in no time.
But so yeah, he's come out saying, Quasi say he doesn't know you very well. And I think he must have asked Quasi, "Do you know someone called," like, he said Zoro, innit? When he says Zoro, the Quasi guy must have thought, because obviously no one called me Zoro. People only started calling me Zoro as I was an adult. Before that, I had a street name, which I don't want to really use because I'm past that stage of my life. So he's saying he's saying Zoro, and I think Larry's saying what, Zoro? Wait, Zoro. Larry's badding up the boy that's talking shit now. He said, "Are you stupid? Go to him and apologize to him, innit? I'm gonna knock you out in the morning." And like, listen, Zoro. His tone has changed now. He's like, "Zoro." I'm like, "Yeah, what?" See, Quasi says, she says, "Sorry." See, sorry, brother. I didn't know you was like one of the mandem, innit? Like, I'm sorry for what I said, innit? See me, I don't hold grudges, innit? Sorry for me is enough. So I just kept it moving after that. But guess what? That same month, a week, shall I say, I was next door to an Irish kid, a boxer. Never run up your mouth to them kids, you know. So like this, pull it like this, yeah. I'm in my cell. He's next door, and he's making noise out, just chatting a bag of shit outside his window. It's sleeping time. Like, bro, go to your bed and sleep. So I must just, hey, next door, shut up and go sleep. I said, "Nah, man, I'm talking to my friend, innit?" See, "Fam, you better get under your bed, you know, or I'm gonna smack you up." And like, listen, yeah, that's what he said. He said, "Yeah." Okay, he left it as that. So now tomorrow morning, I'm walking normal. I didn't think nothing of it because he said, "Yeah, normal, innit?" So I'm walking normal, going to get my lunch, my breakfast and everything. And at the blue, I see this kid. This guy snuck up on me. Whacked me. I still got the scar on my. I still got the scar for it, yeah. And like, I thought, raw. He actually did it. Because I've no listen. I'm the kind of person I am, man. These things don't happen to me, innit? So I was in shock for like 2-3 seconds, innit? And when I realized what he did, like I dismantled his frame, innit? Like
You
but-
dismantled his frame.
yeah, just fully like
destroyed
wrecked him up.
Mm.
Yeah, wrecked him up like. And after that, I started bullying him for his canteen and all that. And I felt bad after a while, and just. I think one day I must have gave him back something. I think I gave him back because he was a good. See with me, I'm not a bad person, innit? If I see like you don't have no bad blood in you, I'll take back any bad thing I had towards you, innit? Like it's as simple as that. But if I see that you're trying to, I'm fuck that. If I see that behavior, then you're intriguing that behavior inside me as well. But if you're showing me, bro, like it's not that, no, bro, like. Then I'm gonna be like, okay, bro. Like it's just the energy you bring in it.
All these shit starters, but when it's reversed on them, they can't handle it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly that. Yeah, man.
So what else happened in the prison sentence?
Prison sentence.
First one.
How long was it?
10 months due 5.
Mm.
Because ABH, robbery and ABH. And I was at 15, 16. So I got 10 months due 5. And yeah, I was in the. Oh, another thing happened. In the gym. But this is YOY as well, you remember.
Yeah.
And but this time, I think that time I got moved to the wing where my brother was as well. So me and my brother, and a couple of like well-known names from my area are all in the same wing.
Chaos.
And including certain official names from Brixton that went to my school. Like he was with us as well. So, like one time we was at the gym and there's this hench, this guy looked like Tyson times 3. Like, and he's, on top of that is Moroccan, some Moroccan looking guy, and he didn't speak English very well. So, his vocabulary is not his thing. So he's come to me like he's on the machine doing the chest machine, and my brethren, I'm not gonna say his name because he's a famous rapper. Like he's come to him, fam, let me get on the thingy. And the guy goes, what are you gonna do? I'm busy. No, that's a lie. My Breggie was on a weight pushing, but he's pushing like he's pushing feathers, isn't it? so the big guy's going, you're not doing nothing, get off. Like and then my Breggie's like, bro, like, nah, sir, I'm not getting off for nothing. But he's made my Breggie feel no way, innit? Like, so I've come to him and tell him, bro, like, come on, leave him, man. Come, look how skinny he is. Like, let him put his weight on, innit? Like, and he goes to him, I don't speak English. I don't care. I'm like, this guy's a bit, but I didn't take it to heart. Like, because he wasn't nothing really. But now we're in, no males, yeah, we've got that alpha ego. So we were in the shower now, yeah? And all the prisoners are there talking about it. My brother just come back from, he's in the shower as well. So all in the shower. And the guy that's done all this is not there, innit? But we're all in the shower, all the boys are shouting, and they're all everyone's sat and just chatting bag of shit, saying, rah, Ray was chatting shit to your brother. I'm looking at them thinking, like, it wasn't that deep though. Like, and like, it's like, they made it something, it's not in it. So now my brother, you cannot say that to my brother. Because my brother is not that guy, innit? Like, even if he said, like, rah, so-and-so, like, looked at your brother wrong, he's going to want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So he's come to me like, rah, like when we see my man next time, smack him in his jaw, innit? Do you know how big this guy is? This guy is massive. Like, but with me, I'm not really, I want a faithful guy at all. So when my brother say, rah, smack him in his jaw when next time we see him, that was the plan. Because that's what we're doing, innit? So we're in the thing now, we're in the gym, and then this guy started doing his warm-up, so he's running around the gym. He's doing a warm-up, first round. I looked at him, I never had the confidence to do it then. I didn't. Like he's running like he's ready, he's running away. So I didn't have that confidence at the time. Second round, I'm like, let me wait for the first round. Maybe he'll forget, maybe I'll catch him off guard. So so my brother's looking at me, I could see that he's looking at me like, oh, if you don't, yeah. And like, you got all the other man in as well back there lining up as well. like waiting for the act, innit? So the third round, I must have remember this is not my fight, you know. This is my brethren's fight, really. It's nothing to do with me, like, but my brethren is not built for that fight. So this is the thing with me now. If my friend ain't built for something, I'm not gonna put him into it. I'll step into it for him, innit? Like that's what you call brotherly love, innit? So he's like, so I stepped in for my guy now, and then this guy's third round, he got the third time. I must have banged him, and it was like and it was a hard punch, but like the guy held his first out this year, looked at me. Luckily, everyone was on standby, innit? It was that fight in the Incredible Hulk, fam. Seriously, no joke of a lie. It was that fight in the Incredible Hulk. Like after I hit him, it didn't do nothing. Yeah, my brother had a broom, whacked him with the broom. He's still walking towards us, my other brother whacked him with something else. My brother got the weights and slapped it on his jaw. Like I got the weight, smacked it on him. We were just doing the most to him, and this guy was not going down. He was not seriously. He was still trying to fight through that, but like we just ended up writing him off. Like, and eventually we got the better of him, innit? Like,
eventually, after the weights, the broom, the kitchen sink. Yeah.
Eventually we got the better of him, and but a good thing on his behalf, because his jaw got dislocated and everything. He basically he really got like messed up in it. He came out early. He got early release. I think he came out soon after that happened to him. He got released. So in a way, he kind of
did all right out of it.
Yeah. But yeah, man. There's even adult jail as well. It's a bit. Yeah, it's a bit. Adult jail was a bit.
Before you get to adult jail, what was your life stories before adult jail?
So you've come out of juvie.
That's when I tried to do the entertainment thing, and it didn't work out. Soon after that, I got shot.
What were the circumstances leading up to that? Are you able to say?
Basically, it's just the family trees, innit? Say like, this is what people don't get, yeah? Peckham, for me, Peckham Boys, my generation, I'm not talking about any other Peckham Boys, just my generation specifically, especially the ones that I recruited and everything. That was like my family, innit? Outside of my family home. So, like, and on top of that, you got my cousins and that were family and family friends. And some of them were Peckham Boys as well. So there was clash of personalities, innit? And so the Ivorians were clashing with the Peckham youths, the Peckham family. So now it became a thing where I had to pick a side, innit? And as much as I didn't want to be on this side, I had to be on this side. Like, I'll be honest with you, the reason why certain things didn't favor this side, because I didn't want this side hurting this side. Like, that's my first love, innit? I had no love for this side. I was only on this side by bloodline, innit? And default, whatever you want to call it. So it was like, yeah, it was a bit traumatic for me, if truth be told, because it's like everyone on this side is willing to go and ride out on this side, and this side is riding on this side, and I'm doing it half-heartedly because I don't want this side harmed, innit? Like, at all. Like, even after I got shot, I didn't want this side harmed, because see what this side's done for me. Like, personally, I'm a grateful guy, innit? Like, so remember, I was going through racism, like family, my mom, everybody. I even had one day where me and my friend was trapped in a house, like, and there was like people outside saying that we're gonna burn your house and we're gonna kill you all. You're not coming out this house today.
Trapped in the house.
Yeah, trapped in my friend's mum's house. Like, and his dad had to call like his nephews and that, which were Peckham Boys, to come down to actually back it for us. And this time I was still too young. So when they came down and we ended up catching them, the people that was responsible for all that, and a few people got put in intensive care, like nothing to glamorize at all. And on top of that, the people that was doing the racism ended up moving out of Bermondsey. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, I own them boys, innit? Like, so my family didn't do that for me. I can't, it's like, from the street level, I couldn't pick a side, innit? But I was on that side. You know what I'm saying? So it was like very traumatic for me in a way, because it's like I'm seeing random, like, and my family just beefing. It was just, I just found it shit, if truth be told. Like, it wasn't appealing, that. So after that happened, it was like more like, after that happened, it was more, after I got shot, it was more like,
Where were you when you got shot?
where was I?
Yeah.
This is what happened, yeah. I'll be honest with you, this is what happened. The day I got shot, I was meant to go studio that day, yeah? Because we had a group, a music group called Front Block. I was meant to go studio that day. And by that day, we had 2 guns on the table. So I grabbed the 2 guns and I said, right, I'm rolling with the 9s, innit? Because we were going to a studio in Ghetto, which is the opposite side. And that guy who I was with, my brethren, rest his soul in peace, he's like, nah, I'm not getting in my car with that, rare, this and that and that. I'm like, raw, like, do you know who you are? Like, you know, you're meant to be a member of a gang, and you're going to Ghetto, and you want to go empty-handed. He said, nah, man, forget that, rare. So I looked at him, I cut my eye at him, cut my eye at him. In my head, I think, if anything happens, I'm going to hold you responsible. So I grabbed my knife instead and put it in my pocket. And then went studio, finished studio. And then we're going to, what's it called? We're going to, what do you call it? Peckham now, to drop one of the boys off. And as we got into Peckham, I see someone waving a gun. And like, see me and that guy is my brethren. It was my brethren at the time, innit? Like, so I'm telling, I told him, but at the time he's my brethren, but me and him was going for a little we were power tripping, innit? Because we were the 2 powerhouse of our generation, innit? So, like, even before that, me and him had a little thing on a boat. There was a boat part where me and him had a thing. I'm not going to go into it about that, but that boat party kind of like sparked a lot of things, innit? Like, in a way where, leading towards when I got to the thing, and on top of that, my cousin, he was another guy that used to just fight everybody, innit? So the previous week, he had a fight in Burgess Park with one of the OGs, like, and it didn't make us look good, if truth be told, that, because like, he was fighting this OG, and basically, like, I told everyone not to join in, innit? And these are older people than me. I told them not to join in, no one joined in. I flicked up my knife, no one joined in, and no one joined in. And then my cousin was like, the other guy was getting a bit of my cousin, and I joined in. So one of my oldest must have kicked me up the arse, like, and then I punched him as well. So automatically now I'm labelled, what's the word? Unruly, like no manners, like I don't have no respect. That's how I was labelled after that day, innit? So leading towards the day I got shot now, like the guy was waving his strap, and then shouted, "Oh, pussy, what did I tell you I want to do next time I see you waving straps around real bad, man? I was on the confiscate, innit?" So, I never knew it was you. Like, I thought it was Getter Boys, and you pull it away. And then that's happened. So I'm thinking, cool, innit? Like, I was dropping off my other brethren, and then some of the OGs come. I don't know what's going on. I'm thinking, why are the OGs coming? And me and one of my OGs was doing business, innit? So he's asked me for grub. And like, he's asked me for his money for the grub, innit? And like, I'm like, bro, I ain't finished, innit? Like, just wait till I finish it, I'll run that back. And that's the honest truth, fam. I'm not a thief, innit? I'm a robber if I'm gonna do something, innit? So that was not for me to hold back money on it. That was not my plan, innit? Like, so I'm like, so I didn't take that to heart, and so I'm like, come on, man. When man's done, even though there's a lot of tension going on between the 2 circles, I told him, like, when man's done, I'll hit you up, innit? But I don't know what happened between that communication where they thought it would be all right to just take the piss and just shoot me in the back of the head.
Jesus.
What?
Yeah. Like,
So were you in the car at this point?
I was in the car, in the back seat. Yeah, I was in the back seat of the car, yeah.
And so where was
and one of the other olders must have went to the guy that was talking to me. He was on this side, innit? The side that I was on, talking to me, innit?
So he was on your left-hand side?
That's him. He was on my left hand side talking to me, and then some next guy, another older that was there, he was at them trying to take the car key out, and I switched for that, innit? I told him, Rod, do you think you can do that when I'm in the car, fam? You can't take the car key when I'm in the car, like cheeky me. And then as soon as I finished that sentence, bow. I thought I got gun bucked, innit? Like, if truth be told.
What's gun bucked?
Pistol whipped.
Pistol whipped. I thought I got pistol whipped. So I've jumped out the car, chasing the whole block down. Like, and everybody ran off, innit? Like, because obviously you would run off if someone just got shot in the head and he's running after you, you would run off, like, automatically. So, like, that's happened now. And then everyone's run off and everything. And then my brethren that was driving is come behind me. He said, fam, are you right? Are you right? He said, dickhead, try and gun butt me. He said, nah, sir, you got shot in the head. Are you sure you're okay? And then that's when my vision, my hearing, everything started changing, innit? And the thing that kept me going is the fact that, remember, it's the thing that, how can I put it? Remember, we're all one circle, innit? So the people that was on that side where I got shot were my friends. They weren't strangers. So any one of my friends could have just told him that, nah, allow that, stop that. Anyone could have done that, but no one did, innit? Like, so I'm there holding my hand on my head, yeah, because this is what I was doing. Holding my hand on my head saying, raw, Styler was there, just raging. Like, because that was my right hand guy, like, that used to do all the dirt for me. And he's there, like, I'm thinking, raw, so that kept me, my genuine pumping, innit? So I did not faint or nothing like that.
Did you go to hospital?
I went to hospital, and when I got to hospital, obviously I went in an ambulance. They put me in a stretcher, which I was not knocked out, but they put me in a stretcher for safe keepings. And
sorry, safe keepings.
It took me to hospital. Now I got to hospital now. I don't know what they're doing. They're looking in and whatnot. They put a badge on my head. If truth be told, they put a badge on my head.
So they bandaged
it.
Yeah,
I couldn't do nothing at the time because it was still sore, innit? So they couldn't do nothing at the time. So they put a badge over my head and sent me home.
What?
Yeah. So when they did that, I went back to the block where I got shot with my gun. Like, seriously.
Why are they releasing you from hospital?
Where did the bullet go?
In the back, got lodged in the back of the skull of my head.
Oh, it was in there?
Yeah.
So they bandaged the bullet still?
Yeah.
They didn't remove it?
No, I didn't get it removed because I didn't get it removed because it was just too, like, for me, it was more complication than a solution.
Is it still there now?
What I did hear from them that it would have dissolved after some time.
Oh, that's nice.
Like, so yeah. So what was that?
You went back with your gun?
Yeah,
I've gone back with my gun now, and I see one of the elders that was there. That he's one of them elders that actually brought most of the people in it from that side. So he saw me. When he saw me, he said, "Raw." Obviously, he heard what happened in it. So he's run away in it when he saw me because he's thinking he's seen a ghost now. He's not seeing a human being in his face, in his eyes. So he's thinking, raw, like, he saw me and ran off in it. And I think something told him to come back in it. So he's come back now. He started touching me, like, making sure it's me in it, not a ghost in it. He said, fam, it's you for real. Like, raw, do you know what? Like, you don't have to prove nothing to no one in Peckham, you know. As from today, you're the baddest man in Peckham. Like, you don't have to prove nothing to no one, bro. Like, you don't need to. And I'm not gonna lie to you, yeah. When you said that, because obviously when I got shot, I made a pact with God, innit? Like, because that's what you do when you're facing death, innit? Like, after when my brother came and told me, "Raw, you know you just got shot, innit?" My vision, everything started changing, and I made a pact to God. I said, "Raw, God, if you let me walk out of this one without no side effects, nothing, I'm gonna forgive the person that shot me. I'm not gonna come and kill him." Like, I swear that I had no intention to doing him any wrong. You know what I'm saying? I had no intention to like, because I got life in it. Like, God gave me life in it. Like, the battle's with yourself in it, not with anyone else. So now that's happened. He's come to me, raw. Like, yeah, he's come to me, raw. You know, as from today, you're the baddest man in Peckham. You don't have to put nothing to no one. And he kind of humbled me down when he said that, in a way. And especially when I made that pact with God as well. Even though I was fighting against my spirit with that pact in it. But like, remember, on top of that, the thing was ongoing. So it wasn't just that happened and it was a squash. It was ongoing. So what happened now? I kind of stopped fucking with Peckham, innit? Like, how could you fuck with people that snaked you? Because man never came and shot me in the head, and we spoke, and we can, like, it wasn't a physical, it wasn't what they did. I can't rate, innit? Like, I don't rate that, and even if we squash beef or anything, we can never be friends, innit? Because you lot are snakes. Like, you have to come from behind. Like, to me, it just don't make sense, innit? Like, I respect man that can actually stand face to face, especially if we're brothers. We're supposed to be brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like that thing it's a brotherhood, really. So for you man to go behind man's back to be able to do that, then you lot ain't really brothers. You lot are just snakes playing snakes and ladders. That's what it was going on. Like, there's no brotherhood going on there. Just snakes and ladders. And it's still a bunch of snakes and ladders going on in Peckham. That's all that's in Peckham. There's no brotherhood there. Don't ever think there's anything like that going on there. But yeah, fam.
This is absolutely mind blowing. So you got all these beefs are going on ongoing, but then you ended up in prison again. What was the circumstances of that?
I've been in prison about 5-6 times.
Okay,
Wow.
yeah. Let's just do the second time.
Second time.
Yeah.
Second time I went to jail, I think it was for a knife. After I got shot.
Yeah.
After I got shot, I had a knife that I was running around with. And obviously, someone snitched on me, obviously, and told the trident that, yeah, this guy is running around with a knife and rah, rah, rah. So you had basically armed response. I was making my way to my house one day and I had armed response after me. And I think a box of weed as well. So like, I wasn't, and the knife here was least of my problems at the time because I wasn't thinking about the knife. I never thinking I had a knife. I was thinking, right, I got a kilo of weed I had to get rid of. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to nick me for that. So I managed to run around and blah, 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 get rid of the weed and everything. So I try and play innocent. Why are you always chasing me and put my hands up and everything? And for them to grab me and hold me and put me down and all that and tell me, yeah, this is why we were chasing you, and show me the knife. And basically they're saying that, someone has said that you're walking around with a knife looking for revenge. Like, and
Were you?
I wasn't.
No.
Honestly, I wasn't. That was just my own personal self-protection.
Someone snitched on you.
Yeah, someone snitched on me, but it's not about who snitched or who's not, but it's just someone did, innit? Like, not to say I know who did, but someone did. But
what did you get for that one?
What, for the knife?
Yeah.
Man, I got 21 days.
21 days?
Yeah. my best friend hated me there because he was in there on a gun charge. I think he got 5 years due 2.5, and I had 21 days. And we was next door. So I'm smoking weed at my window, blowing it in the hallway. So I got 21 days to go. Singing a So Solid tune, and he's there, got 2.5 years to go. So
short timer.
Yeah, man. I only got 21 days. Basically, what I noticed, yeah, when incident like that happened, what I noticed, what they tend to do, what the system tend to do, they tend to put the victim in prison so he calms down, so there's no retaliation. By the time you come out, your heart is already humbled, innit? You know what I'm saying? So, in a way, I think that was the thing. Because I'm not the only person it's happened to. A lot of my friends that's been shot or stabbed or something, they end up going to prison. Like, on a recall or something. Like, that's just to calm them down before they're back in society. Because if you're out and you're in society and you got this, something just happened to you, like, your head is not going to be in the right space, right place, and you're going to probably do some things that you might regret in the future.
Yeah.
What percentage of your friends have been shot or stabbed?
Percentage of my friends, not a high percentage.
Really?
If truth be told, the only reason why, because we were the one doing the stabbing.
Right.
Like, that's the only reason why it wasn't a high percentage. Like, because Peckham was known for stabbing people, and like, I don't know, it was that. See, when we came in because we came in as underdogs, innit? Like, Brixton was really running the show. Ghetto was really running the show. See, my generation, we're the one that took it off them, innit, and gave it to Peckham. Like, it's us, innit? It don't belong to no one but us, innit? like it's my generation, our generation that made that happen. But before that, it was just people were just we was doing most of the stabbing. The only time the stabbing started becoming in-house when we started not worrying about the other side, you start worrying about ourselves when drugs came in the picture. See, when drugs came in the picture, when drugs was the topic, it was like more like, it's everything was just in-house. So everyone's warring each other now. So it was it was turf war now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was a bit, it wasn't really nice to see the way the dynamic changed. It wasn't nice.
So after the 21 days then, who were you clicked up with after that?
After that, come out of jail, and basically, obviously, I was still kind of like rolling, because after I got shot, I was still rolling with the people I was with the day I got shot. And I never went home for 3 days after I got shot. Like, I didn't go home for 3 days after I got shot. So for 3 days, I was out on the streets, even though I fully in my heart didn't want to take vengeance because of the pact I made with God. But at the same time, I had that in the back of my street mentality in the back of my head, wanted a piece of it, but not really. Like, so that just kind of like, after that, my brethren from some of the, basically my brethren from Peckham, just different parts, because with me, I never really, what's the word? Even though we was repping Peckham, but really and truly, we was really repping Southwark. Because my generation, I recruited everyone from around the local areas. So it wasn't Peckham, it was Southwark really. But we named it Peckham because he had the biggest name. Like, so I made everyone scream at Peckham. But it wasn't all Peckham. And then what was I saying? After I got shot, it was just
what was going on with Breaker at that time?
In and out of jail. He's got shot as well a few times. Shot a few people. We was going through wars, innit? And the key point for me personally was when, after the third day of being out and about, and not returning back to my mum's house, there was some of my friends in it that came to me, about 4 of them came to me and said, them boys you're with, they're not riding with you, they're not protecting you, they're a bunch of wallies, innit? They're gonna get you killed, or they're gonna get themselves killed. Like, get away from them and come with us, and let's go back home, innit, to Bermondsey, innit? Like, so we end up going back to Tubbard and relocating and re-establishing ourselves, innit? So we just locked the drug game there, and basically, like, we was playing defense more than offense. So we were just defending rather than offensing. So that's because I'm not gonna lie. As much as I like violence, and not that I like it, but as much as I enjoyed it, because I'm a sporty person. So violence to me is like a sport. Like, fighting is like a sport. So as much as I enjoyed all that, it wasn't, when it comes to like real life situations, it wasn't something to actually glamorize, innit? Like, when it's all fun and games when you're young and all that, it's cool. But when you realize that lives are at risk, like, people can die from this, mums are gonna be hurt from this, like, it's just certain things start triggering and thinking, like, do you know what? This is a waste of my movement that we're doing. So it was like, I kind of like, as much as I was still dabbling, I was trying to dabble out. Like, but and one thing I do know about the game, don't ever try and leave the game full-hearted straight away like that. Gradually leave it alone, innit? Like, because if you more time when you do try and fully leave it, there's still unsolved shit that you ain't solved, innit? And if you leave it unsolved, it will catch you up when you're not ready, innit?
It's gonna follow you,
Yeah. So I made sure, like, before that, I just
tied all the loose ends.
Tied all the loose ends, because I don't want to be walking around looking over my shoulder. That's not my thing, innit?
What happened during the ghetto Brixton beef?
Ooh. Ghetto Brixton beef. How can I put it? There was 2 oldest from my ends that was really leading that. I'm not gonna name them because I ain't got no permission from them for me to name them. but they were like the forefathers of that beef, and but we were the like. Remember, they were the fathers of the beef, but remember, they're not approaching the thing with their generation. So they're leading Peckham Boys, but they're not leading Peckham Boys with Peckham Boys their age. They're leading Peckham Boys with Peckham Boys way younger than them. You know what I'm saying? Way younger than them. So it's like they're basically our godfathers in a way, because they're older than us and all this other stuff. But there weren't no one their generation around them. Like, if truth be told, no one their generation was really around them. Like, probably on the block and smoking weed and doing whatever they're doing. But to actually come out on the field with them is very rarely, only a few times, isn't it? When we actually called for elders to come to defend us against the Brixton. At one time, there was a Brixton madness with is it Ben and Jerry's? Yeah, there's a part, there used to be
What,
a
the
rave.
ice cream?
Huh? Yeah, there's another ice cream, Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah.
There was a rave called Ben and Jerry's. This is give us Ben and Jerry's inside, isn't it?
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so there was a rave called Ben and Jerry's, and that rave was like Peckham's come up, innit? That was really and truly Peckham's come up. That rave, this is what happened inside. Inside the rave was an MC competition, dance competition, and another competition. And we won all of the competitions, innit, inside. So what our talent was official. And outside of that rave, there was Brixton Boys on one side and Peckham Boys on one side. But Brixton Boys outnumbered the Peckham Boys by God knows how much numbers. So the Peckham Boys that was out there, like, they were really outnumbered. But guess what? My brother was out there that day. So that's the wrong person to have out there, even if you're outnumbered, fam. So what he decided to do, he decided to go in the crowd of Brixton Boys and fight them all. And they're all helmeting him. I reckon they smashed him. I wasn't there, but I can only imagine what happened. Innit? I think they must have written him off, innit? And obviously his batches, the batches all that was there, the Peckham Boys that was there, I think they got beat up as well. They must have, when you think about it. But after that happened now, we called the older lot from our ends, from Peckham. And they came down now. And after that, certain things happened that changed everything. Like, obviously I can't say certain things, but certain things happened, like, yeah, critical conditions and that made basically Peckham become the number one gang to fear. And on top of that, my brother that I was talking about, he used to always, he's immune to going around Bricky Boys and beating them all up. That was his thing. He used to, I don't want to name names, but he used to go outside their schools with his girlfriend and say, you, I'll fight all three of yous and beat them all up, like, for his girlfriend. Like, that's the kind of guy, that's the kind of guy he was, isn't it? Like, so that kind of changed the dynamic of stuff, innit? When Ben and Jerry happened and when we won all the competition inside and outside, like, one of the ringleaders in Brixton got comatose, didn't it? He was in a coma for a while. Like, and yeah, like, it was just, and with the ghetto side, it was just trips up ghetto, innit? Just a trip up in ghetto, it's just backwards and forward, innit? Like, you know what you do when you go on a field trip, you're gonna be active in it on the field. So that's what really was happening. Like, and yeah, I wouldn't glamorize none of the thing we did because it was stupidity, because there was no meaning to what we was doing. Like, it wasn't a thing where we was actually doing it for a cause. Like, it was a cause that none of us knew for. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't. So with the Peckham and with the ghetto beef, me personally, I wasn't too much into it myself. But because obviously I was different generation to most of them. So, but what I did do, like, see, because I lived in Bermondsey, innit? So before anyone from, from Catford, Lewisham sides and everything, before they leave to go to their side of the fence, they have to drop off at Waterloo. And then that's where I used to catch them slipping, all of them. And me, I don't really need a gang with me. I've never been the kind of guy that'll call my gang and say, yeah, look, this guy's here. I've never been that guy. If I see you, don't know how many of yous are there, like I'm gonna line you all up and take all your goods. That was my thing in it growing up. Like I don't know, I was savage like that. I used to always line up like the opposite side and take my bag, and then whatever you got. That was just what I used to do. Now I don't know, it wasn't glamorous, but it's just I came from a poor background to begin with. So I came from a background where my parents used to give me 50p to go to school. That's only till year 7. After year 7, I got fuck all because I was too naughty. So I had to make it for myself, innit? But by that time, I knew the game anyway. I was selling crisp and all that in school and all that. I just found my way, innit? But
what about during the Trocadero days?
Wow, them days was probably the funnest days of our lives, man. If truth be told, because it was just like it was fun. Because we used to all link up at Elephant Castle, take a number 12 to what do you call it, to Trocadero, and just cause a mayhem. Just cause mayhem in the whole of Trocadero. Like everybody was getting touched up. So remember the time when Matrix phones was out?
Matrix phones,
yeah. See the Matrix phone days? It was mainly...
the ones that slide up. It
was in the Matrix film. Neo had that thing. But see them times, like it was mainly Chinese that had them phones in it. So there was a lot of Chinese people getting hurt. I remember that, getting robbed, yeah. I remember them times it was Trials that was running the show as well. So we kind of like, in a way, ran them out the game as well. Because Triad left the games when we came in the picture. So like Trocadero was just a fun place to be in. Like Trocadero for me it didn't start off with the gang to begin with. I started off going Trocadero with estate friends. Like me and the Knicks and that, we used to go Trocadero, chirps and girls. That's how it started to begin with. And then as we're there, certain things are happening, events are happening where different parts of London are coming and joining up in it. So crazy events used to happen, like little crazy fights used to happen. A lot of madness used to happen. So when it got to like the stage where man became part of the gang now, man kind of like brought that to the table in a way. Trocadero became a thing for us. Like, so we used to go Trocadero every so often and just cause mayhem. Like, cause I grew up on the phone robbery days. So a lot of phones used to get robbed, and the way we used to do it, we used to just go West End on bus and walk back down. Like, that makes sense. So on our way back down, we're robbing everyone and anyone.
Right.
Like, and because there was so many of us, what we did, like see if the people on the outskirts, if you rob a phone, you go in the middle. Or the circle. So
you just snatch it out of their hands.
Snatch it out of their hands, and you go in the middle of the circle. So nobody can come towards you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it was very tactical, like in a way, not glamorizing it, but it's very tactical. Like,
did you have anyone try to fight back?
Loads of people trying to fight back, but what happens when you fight back? What happens if you fight back against a team of, let's say, 30 people? Like, could you imagine what would happen to you?
Get knocked out.
Yeah, so obviously there's a few people, Chinese guys, there's a few people to try to deal with that kung fu. They're trying to deal with that, but we weren't phased by any of it because we had knives in it. So like when they see knives with 12 boys surrounding them, like I think they would just drop the thing and just say, okay, you don't have that, and I'll go. You know what I'm saying?
What was your third prison then?
My third? What would I go? Would I go to jail for the third time? Probably weed or something. Like, most of my charges wasn't major charges. Because what I tend to do, is one thing as well, because I was a drug dealer, innit? Petty estate drug dealer. Not no big time drug dealer. I was just sell drugs on the estate, nothing special. But what I tend to do, more time when police come and arrest me or something, like, I'll fight them and get like, actually that's what it was. It was an ABH charge. It was police assault charge. I'll fight them and get rid of the drugs that way. Like, so if I'm fighting them, I'm not really concentrating on them. I'm concentrating on getting rid of my drugs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm fighting them. I'm looking for where's a wedge patch, where's something in it where I can dash the shit away. And more time, that's how I got away with a lot of stuff. So instead of getting a drug charge, I'll get like a police assault or something silly that might end up doing
Does that
6
carry
weeks for.
less than a drug charge usually?
Yeah, on the level that man was on, like if you bite his hands, like try and put his hand in my throat, I want to bite his hands. So
All the time.
In America, it'd be the other way around.
yeah,
But in the UK,
If you assault a cop in America, you are fucked.
Yeah.
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 I want to glamorize it. Guys, don't try and assault feds and police and think it's all right. It's not, because you'll face some time.
Yeah. What about the 4th prison then?
The 4th prison. Which one was the 4th one?
Sorting a copper again.
It might have been, you know. No, it might have been. Because I think, yeah, it might have been. Because after that, it was just my 2 drug offences.
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah, I think it was the same thing, similar thing.
How long did they give you for that sort of charge?
For assaulting police officers. At the time, well, I don't know, but
It's
at the
going
time,
back, it's probably different these days.
6 months I got on one, and 6 weeks I got on one.
Anything crazy happened during those times in prison?
Yeah, there was a little riot in jail at one point on Christmas Day.
Over what?
Not banging up on Christmas Day. Like you can't blame them, innit? Like, but the only thing I didn't like about that riot is a female officer got injured, innit? Which you can't really glamorize, innit? That's just, at first it was all, yeah, let's do this, innit? But when it's always a dickhead in the batch, innit? Someone decides to pick up a chair and from the 1st floor dash at the thingy staff. That spoiled everything. It took the fun out of what we was doing. Like, it was no more fun. It was like, raw, like, that's a violation now. But that was an event that was very epic, because the same day that happened, I think nearly enough everyone that was involved got shipped out the jail. That same day delivery. Like, no, next day, just same day. They put special bus in the jail to ship people out. They didn't want everyone thinking it's all right to do anything like that.
How did they put the riot down?
How did they put it down? I think obviously more stuff came, but people got a bit bored after a while. That's what happens with riots.
A bit bored.
Yeah, you get bored after a while. What else is there to do?
There's only so much rioting.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do. Like, it's not like you can't. It's not like you can go to the shop or anything like that. You can't do none of that. So you're still on the same wing. You're still you're still next to your cell. You're not doing nothing special. You're just on the wing doing what? So eventually, everybody just went back to the cell, innit?
Did you get any beefs with guards?
I wouldn't say beef with them, but I was not a fan of prison officers, innit? And I wouldn't say I was a threat. I wasn't a threat either, but I just wasn't a fan of them. I was just like, you're an officer, I'm a convict, so let's just keep that barrier. Like, let's just not try and cross the two and try and pretend we're something we're not. Like, because a lot of people tend to try and cross the two, and then when they see that the officers does something dodgy to them, because it's their job, innit? So what do you expect from them? That's why I tend not to try and cross the two. So I used to have a lot of arguments with officers, mainly over shower. You'll never believe it. Because see, with me, when I'm in jail, I don't play games. I don't play pool. I don't play games in prison, innit? I've got a thing like, raw, like, I have to be alert at all time, innit? So for me, playing a game, it's like putting my guards down. So I didn't really play games. I just, like, unless I'm in my cell playing cards, or I'm in a safe cell playing cards, I don't play games. So yeah, one time the prison officer must have told me, yeah, you can't go in the shower, last shower, you can't go in the shower. And I looked at him, he knows this is all I do, innit? He goes, this is all I do, bruv. And he said me, nah, you're not coming in the shower, you're standing beside the door, like, you're not getting in the shower. So me and him got into it, and like, it was just, yeah, it was a hench African man as well. So we got into it, but luckily for me, my best friend was in the wing, the guy that I was talking about. he was in the wing, so he managed, because the screw that was in the wing as well, he knows both of us, innit? Like, and the screw was cool, my best friend as well. So my best friend managed to like talk him and together, like talk us both, like to settle our differences. But after that, I wasn't allowed to stay on the same room as him because I was waiting for an opportunity. Like, but yeah.
How many times did you go to block?
Who you mean?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't really, like I said, I'm not really I'm not an offender that goes. I'm not one of them guys that just acts like a madman in jail. But man's been blocked a few times for a few fights. But I'm not the guy.
You seem relatively calm.
Isn't he very calm?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're very calm, very polite. You're like really.
But do you know what the funny thing about is? See, like 15, 20 years ago, I never had vocabulary to be talking to you like this.
Yeah.
I couldn't. My vocabulary was so like messed up. Like I couldn't. You wouldn't say I'm calm. Like them times, I had to basically teach myself in prison these behaviors, like these, because I wanted to do better in it.
Yeah.
Like, so when you want to do better in life, you try in it. So it's only when you're comfortable with what you're doing, you just don't do enough. You don't do nothing about it.
Imagine people watching this are seeing you so calm, and they're thinking like they can't imagine you like being in the mix like this. But yeah, obviously it's all true. But you've come so far. And what about being in prison with Yami?
Oh, that's my uncle. Yo, shout out unks. Yeah, Yams is a man. Like, yeah, obviously, see me and Yam, like, it's like, he liked me, yeah, because I don't know what it is. I don't know what he's heard about me before he met me, but he liked me, innit? So with me, I'm a sucker for love. Like, so if someone shows me love, I'm gonna show it back. So Yam showed me love, innit? And for an OG like that to show me love, it's only right that I showed love back. And Yam he's always one of them guys. He's always told me, like, look, nephew, anyone troubles you, my account, put the money in my account, business is handled. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy, innit? Like, he was that guy. Like, even though man could handle my own and whatnot, but certain times you might have someone another way, you might have someone different, you might not be able to get to certain people. But luckily I never had no issues in jail like that. Not to that extent. On that sentence I was with Yami, the only major issue I had was with somebody and very no name, like in the crime, you know, that the crime family, in like very well no name. But his story is a bit nuts because we started off as good pals, like, and I don't know what happened. I think somebody from my area was in the gym with him, wasn't working with him at the gym because he was working in the gym. And I don't know what he was saying to him, but he was bad mouthing me. So he's come on the wing one day, just acting different. Like, and I'm trying to figure out why is he acting different. But anyway, that day I was rushing. And I was rushing to the queue, innit? Like, and he was in the queue and I pushed in front of him. Like, remember, these are my OGs. These are people that who I used to probably read about and all that. You know what I'm saying? No, they say like idols become rivals sometimes. So he's in the queue, and I kind of pushed in front of him, like trying to get my food quick. And then because I just come back from the gym as well, and them time I had a little size on me. So obviously I saw him as a brother at the time, innit? So he's come back and he's basically grabbed me and then moved me back out the way, innit? I didn't see nothing of it, innit? Because we're like family, innit, practically. So now after he's done that now, but he's done it but I didn't think nothing of it. But when I'm standing there, I can see his body structure. It feels like he's the man now. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. I thought we was brothers. I thought it was like, you're not sure. This is not. It felt a bit awkward. So like, my face is a bit dead straight now. My face is screwed now because I'm thinking about the scenario now. So he's telling me, raw. Like, have you? He goes, raw. Because obviously, when I went in dinner queue, I dropped someone's food by accident, innit? So he must have asked me, raw, you dropped my man's food, innit? But I never heard what he said. So I said, what? With a screw face, like, and he looks at, I'm saying, did you drop my man's food? Oh, yeah. And do you know what he did after that? He grabbed my head to whisper in my ear. He goes, look, you're my brother and everything, but don't ever speak to me in that tone again. Where I'm from, you don't do that, bruv. Who are you? Don't care don't care what family you're from, fam. It don't work like that. So I push his hand and say, what are you telling me really? You know what I'm saying? What are you saying to me? Like, because you're not telling me nothing but drama right now. So what are you saying to me? He's saying, shh, don't make no noise. Like I said to you, innit? I said to you what I said to you. I'm like, right, this guy's a professional at this. So like, I'm like, okay. Because I've always, for me, fighting was been a walk in the park. I've always been on the winning stream, innit? So like, he's like, the way he's acting, I'm like, bro, this guy might try to turn me over. Like, so the way he's so professional about it, fam. And he's not a small guy either. And them man all known for cage fighting and all that. He's Cole D, his best friend, whatever. Like, them man he was the strongest man in the jail. Like, and his arm was out here. Like, I'm not gonna say his name either, because like he ended up getting involved in it and had to back out after a while. But I'm not gonna say his name. But he's a very known gangster, innit? Like, so he's come to me now. No, the other come to me, like, I told you, my brother, but don't talk to me that way. It's like, no, listen, what are you telling me, innit? Listen, me, shh. Like, we can go to my cell, innit? We can talk, we can do this in my cell, innit? So me, I come and go then, innit? So, like, see one thing with me, one thing with me, see someone tries to get when a fight is about to happen, don't just walk to the fight. You'll get nervous if you do that. If you're walking both side to side, walking to the fight, you will get nervous. So what I tend to do, I'm dragging him to the fight. You know what I'm saying? So my nerves is getting a bit suppressed, innit? So he's pushed me like, shh, listen, stop making a scene, bruv. Like, I told you we're gonna go to my cell, so let's go to my cell, innit? Like, this guy's a professional. Like, he really knows how to do this. Like, it's bro, I'm not gonna get fucked out when I get in there. So like, so mine got to the cell now, and he pretends to lock the door, because that's what you're meant to do. You're meant to lock the door so no one gets in. So he pretends to lock the door. I'm thinking he locked the door, innit? So like, he goes to me, raw, I like you and everything, but if it comes down to it, I'll fuck you up. That's what he said to me. He said, me too, I like you, but I'll fuck you up too. Like, like, and then I don't know, like, I think after I said what I said, he must have swung, innit? So I must have ducked, and I don't know, like, I picked him up and then smashed his head against the wall. And I made sure I smashed his head against all the walls. There was blood on every one of his walls, stamped him out, like, I really ratted him off, like, to the point where his next door, yeah, was the big guy I was talking about, his next door, innit? He's coming to, remember, he knows both of us, innit? But that's his people. So he's coming to break the fight off, yeah? But when he's seen his brethren, how the state of him, this is what he told me. He thought his guy was dead, innit? So he's come out of emotion, innit? So he's trying to punch me, innit? But because I got fast reactions because I'm small and all that. So I jump back now. Obviously, I just waste a lot of energy, and this guy's even bigger. So I'm like, I'm trying to style it out, saying, right, what, two of these now, yeah? So I've gone back, walking back on myself, innit? Because what I did, when I moved to that wing, because it's not my original wing. I came off a different wing to come to that wing, because the wing I was on, I locked my wing in a way where I was selling spice and whatnot. And basically, I was at Father Christmas because we were on them times. So, and the govs on that wing had some new boys coming to the jail, innit, who are more famous. So they're known on the road and they're known people. So he decided to take sides with them, innit, and they were like, it was a thing where basically no prison is like a, what do you call it? It's still the fields, innit, in a way. It's still the field, like, meaning it's still like the street shit going on there. So the boys now, they're coming out, they're wealthy prisoners, innit? They're prisoners that don't need certain things. They got money behind them, innit? So they're getting screws coming in with parcels and this and that and that. So, and I have to struggle to get people to go and get my parcels. So now we're struggling now. So it's like one of them must have sent someone on a visit to get parcel. And now when they come back now, I heard there's food on my wing, and I'm not involved. Because at the time it was like, anything that comes through, basically the Spice Boys have to get involved. You have to bust us, innit? You have to give us and say, yeah, you guys, this you lot's cut. And it didn't happen like that. So, but guess what? Most of the people that was part of that Spice Boys crew left the jail, innit? So it's like, raw, like, I was kind of left to my own device, innit? So I was trying to still hold it down for that, for that crew, innit? But yeah, like, so I kind of like said, nah, do you know what? You lot can't be having Spice on the wing, innit? It's like, it doesn't work like that. Like, you don't need to give man some if you don't want that. If you want that privilege. And they weren't trying to hear it. So I got one of my next door, the guy that came on a visit with the Spice. I got I went my next door to, like, basically span the wing, basically looking for the guy that had the Spice, and find him in the laundry room. Luckily, because it was a perfect room. I found him in the laundry room, and I stripped her naked to find out where the grub was. Like, and like the things we do, like, it's not even funny. Like, it's the things we do. Like, it's just that life is kind of traumatic, bro. Because like, end up a grown ass man, like, stripping him naked to find where his drugs was, and he didn't have the drugs on him. So he's manhood got embarrassed for no reason.
Humiliating.
Huh? Yeah, humiliating for no reason. So I'm like, cool. So who's the big man? So I went to the big man that was meant to have set the thing up. So the big man now, he's come to me. The big man, he's come to me, right, man, ain't got nothing for you, racing fam. Listen, it's not gonna work like that, innit? Like, this is how it's gonna work. Like, you lot are gonna give me something, innit? Or this will be an ongoing thing. And I think eventually, remember, they got money, so it's not Spice, and that it wasn't their thing. Like, I'm coming from a different background to you guys, you get me? I need the money. Like, this is why I do this, innit? I don't do it because I want to be a fashion statement. It's not that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I needed the money, so I was going for my money, innit? So eventually, I think he clocked that raw. Like, it's not a thing where man's trying to be gangster. Actually, it's a thing, innit? Like, this is what we do, innit? So he was saying, right, do you know what, man, I respect your team. So after bang up, I'll run you that. And after they run my thing, guess what happens? After they gave me my thing, the screws now decides to move me off the wing, innit? So that's when I end up on the other wing, where all the official guys are. Because the person that was the one that was running my wing was running the officers as well. He was the one. Yeah, he had a governor of the prison that was working for him for one of his nightclubs on road, and that's the governor of the prison. You know what I'm saying? So I'm fucking with different levels that I can't reach. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he end up having to tell me, like, yeah, you two basically got on the wing, and then where was I lost myself.
They moved you over to where the higher ups were. Yeah,
so they moved me up to where all the men were, in it, and then that's when that fight happened in that wing, in it. But see, the guy who had a fight with it's a brand name, in it. So after that fight, he started making phone calls to find out who I am. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm talking road now. So families on the road are in danger now. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the kind of people you're fucking with when you're fucking with certain people. So now, but I think they must have, I don't know who they're called, but they called the right person, because the person told them, look, that guy is not like, he's not affiliated like all of us lot, but he's a stand-up guy, innit? He'll stand for what he believes in. Like, and it's just, that's him in a nutshell. Like, he's not going to try and budge. Like, if he believes in something, he'll stand for it. And I think they respected that. And I think one of them called me back, the main guy, like, called me back and told me, right, he wants to talk to me, rare. So me and him are talking, and the other guy who I beat up, he's trying to come in. Like, remember, they're the people that run the jail, innit? He's trying to come in. So now, but the other guy is telling his brethren, fuck off, like, can't you see I'm talking. So it's like they put my rank is up. So like, I'm like, it's saying, can't you see I'm talking to Donny, like, just fuck off, innit? I'm thinking, bro, that's your dog, like. You know what I'm saying? You don't have, I seen pictures of you lot AK-47s together and that. Like, but I'm like, okay, cool. So he's telling me that, do you know what, I should have never got involved. Because what happened, after he tried to hit me, I ran on my side of the wing, innit? And bear in mind, before I got on my wing, I locked my wing, innit? Basically, drugs is drugs rules, innit? So I made sure like everyone on my wing was nice for drugs. So everybody on my wing was really underman in a way. So, and my wing was where all the multicolored people were, like the Asians and all that other stuff. So, and on that side was where there was more whites and blacks and whatnot. So, he's come back and told me that, right, he's come and asked the people to come get me to talk to me, innit? So I come back, obviously I changed my shirt because there was blood on it. So I come back and I spoke to him. He's telling me like, raw, like, and my man's trying to get in the room. He's telling my man to fuck off and all that. And he's telling me like, raw, sorry for what happened, like, I shouldn't have never got involved in it. Like, really and true, like, you're a real guy in it. Like, you've never said I would done anything wrong in it. Like, and obviously my man next door, he's always troubling people and this and that and that. And I should have known better in it. Like, if you want, you can go back in and finish him off. Wait a minute, that's your peoples. Like, and that's bullying now, because you saw what I done to him, innit? So I'm like, no, it don't work like that. Like, you saw what I done to him. So for me to go back in there, that's not my thing, innit? Like, it's not, so I just left it as that. And the guy that I had a fight with, come in, like, saying, raw, like basically came to squash, saying, raw, sorry, like, my brother, my little brother, this and that and that. So it was like, so with me, I don't hold grudges. Like, cause life is too short to. Like, so I'd never really held grudge regarding that. But yeah, luckily for me, someone that called told him like, raw, my man is a stand-up guy, innit? So if you're not doing what you're doing, know what you're doing, innit? Because he's gonna fight for what he believes in.
So how did you turn your life around after all these prison sentences?
My last prison sentence was what actually broke me in a way, but I still didn't change my life around fully then. But it kind of, after I got that case, I started doing work with like St. Mungo's, like homeless charities and like people with deprived backgrounds and everything. But soon after I went prison because that case was ongoing. So when I went prison and I came out of prison, to be honest with you, obviously I wanted to go straight, but like I said, see one thing, crime, see people like me at a high level, like, of crime, especially from my area, I needed to, like, when I went back in the community, I needed to know what was around. So the first thing I did is buy weed to sell weed. Like, so with weed, everybody smokes weed. So you know who's around you and what's around you and everything. So that just made me establish what it's about. And then after a while, I thought, do you know what? I need one shot at this year, which is, I just thought, you know what? I basically had a trap house. Like literally, I just come out of jail, I had a trap house where I was doing the most in there. Like, but my mind wasn't settled. Like I was and there was two things I needed in my life. I needed a cleaner and a PA. Like, that to organize my life, innit? Because being in my doing what I was doing, when you're selling drugs, like, you ain't really got time for certain things. So I knew what I needed to do in my life for it to get better. So I hired a cleaner and a PA. And the PA now, yeah, this is a catch-23. The PA now, I gave her too much information about me. Too much. Too much. She know information about my mom, my sister, because she's my personal assistant. So as a good boss, I end up, what's the word? She ended up being my woman after, because she had too much information to go with.
So you have to keep her around?
I had to keep her around, because that was too much information. Like, I remember one day I was sitting down and I'm thinking, bro, this girl's got so much information about me, like, I need to do something with it. And that's when I decided to make her my partner. And she became my partner, and after she was my partner, obviously I told her the things that, and obviously she was my PA before my partner. Like I used to pay her, like, I can't remember. I used to pay her, but she used to be my PA, and she used to always ask me, what do I need in my life? Like, I just told her, like, I need organization, I need this, I need that. So in a way, she was doing the things that your woman would do for you. You know what I'm saying? So
did you fancy her?
To begin with, like, actually, you know what? Yeah and no. Because, right, cool, put it like this, yeah? She's not my usual type. Like, but yeah, she had a special flair about her that I could never find in my usual type. And to me, that was unique, innit? Like, because she's a Rasta, innit? She's not a meat eater, no fish eating. She's she's basically the opposite of me. Like, and you know what they said, the opposite attracts. So I couldn't be with a girl that was, because before her, I had a girl that went jail, that like, even though she's trying to turn her life around, but she was living a similar background as me, and there was no way that was gonna work. Like, cause we always used to clash. Like, why are you going out? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Like, I'm like, nah. Do you know what? But with this girl, it was just so, everything was just so smooth, and it was more like, no. Do you know what? That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. She was, me and her was seeing each other eventually after a while. I stopped sleeping with her, but we wasn't doing nothing like that. But what happened? My grandma died. Like, my grandma died, yeah, and I was living in the hospital at the time. And when my grandma died, I keep saying magpies at my window. You know what they say about magpies, yeah?
One for luck, two for sorrow.
No, one for sorrow, two for luck.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
And there was one. My nan just died, so I'm in my cell, like, scared, just not comfortable. And I don't know. She's my PA at the time, innit? So she would know a lot of things about me, innit? So I think I end up getting on the phone with each other, and I told her what's going on, innit? And she said, you know what, I'm coming. Mate, no word of a lie. Ever since that day, you might as well say we've been together. Because after that, I went to a funeral. My brethren's, no, not funeral, memorial. My brethren's 10-year memorial. Like, I think this next day I went to because she stayed with me for a few days. I went to my brethren's memorial, and it was a 10-year memorial. And during that 10 years, I haven't achieved nothing substantial. Like, no keys, no nothing. Like, and he sees someone say a key word, like, raw, like, what are you doing? Where this and that and that. And she must say, well, have you got keys in that? No. And she must have made me think, raw, do you know what? 10 years went by, no keys, no nothing. There's, like, what am I living for, really? Like, and then I started thinking, raw, like, I went back home to my missus now, to the raw, do you know what? I want a kid.
Strong.
So I'm saying, I said to her, I want a kid, bro. Like, everyone, bear in mind, we went together like that in the beginning. But I went back to her and said, bro, I want a kid. I want us to have a kid. Like, because for me to even call her to come to my rescue when certain things are happening, I'm like, bro, this girl is not an average girl, isn't it? Like, so, like, when I told her I wanted a kid, see what you just, she did that. She did that. And she's told me, like, bro, do you know what? She looked in my eye and said, "Right, do you know what? I'll ride with you, innit? We could do this together." And do you know what? Funny thing is, she said the first day she met me, she told her brethren, that guy is going to be the one I'll end up with.
Oh.
And I didn't know that.
Still together now, yeah?
Yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at the time. But she's kind of like, because obviously I was trying to be like cooperative, innit? Like, so I trying to get out of that street life and whatnot, and she was helping me emerge from that transaction. And eventually what happened? Eventually I decided to give up the house that I had a trap in, and I think when I did that, I called one of my brethren, because you know, with me, I've got friends from different walks of life. So I called one of my friends and told him, look, I need a job, like in construction. And the next day I got a job in construction doing that work. And I didn't need that no more. You know what I'm saying? So I was just living normal, day to day, me and the missus, and we're just basically planning my company structure. Like, just planning. And then that's how it really happened, really. Like, just emerged from crime like that.
What is your company?
It's an entertainment company.
Yeah. For the music, of course.
Music, documentary, filming, all of that.
So people watching, how can they get involved?
What in the basically, and basically, I need artists, obviously, and I'm trying to make this more local artists, and basically trying to bridge that gap, because obviously it's easy to get to. It's easy when you've made it and you've got a name and everything. It's easy for you to do something with what you got, and you can have talent in the hood and not being seen. Because I've got certain tracks that I've done myself from way back here that I think when I listen to, I think, bro, like that's just waste talent. You know what I'm saying? So I come at an angle where I'm trying to basically, the aim is to just basically bring people's ideas and things to life, innit? Like just anyone that's got ideas regarding story writing, like if they want to be part of the entertainment squad, like just obviously in entertainment you need a squad, innit? You've got people that do filming, you got people that do like even people that do script writing, people that do whatever. Like man just needs a multimedia functional team, innit?
So you're hiring?
Yeah, fully hiring. Like yeah, hiring until the team is made.
So how do you apply?
I've got. How do you apply? I'm gonna give you my email, which is CEO at Authentic Pioneers Entertainment. Authentic Pioneer Entertainment ENT.com. So that my email, you can hit me up directly on my email, and obviously, I'm more than willing to communicate with anyone.
Put that in the description box below.
Yeah.
Yeah, all your links will be in the description box below. What do you say to young people watching this who may be in the lifestyle?
Young people, how can I put it? Well, to be honest with you, I'll tell them straight. I got shot in the back of my head by a friend. Not an enemy, not an up, by a friend. You know what I'm saying? So think about that, innit? That's what the game is about. Snakes and ladders. You know what I'm saying? That snake to me is up the ladder today. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to you what role you want to take in it. You want to be a snake, you can do your thing, but it's not only going to last so long. Especially, one thing I do know is about a lot of the young people that's trying to get involved in this gang life. They're doing it wrong, innit? Because they ain't got heritage. They ain't got family involved. They ain't got certain people involved. So when you're getting involved in this kind of thing, you're going in at the deep end where you can only swim in the shallow end. Like, and it's not worth it. Like, there's many ways to make it happen, and like crime ain't the only way. Like there's many other stuff you can do. Like especially like the entertainment thing I'm trying to do. I'm doing it for you guys, you know. Like because I've seen myself go down the wrong road at a young age, and I feel like if I had the right direction back then, because I was always trying to get out of that from when I left prison the first time. I've been trying to get out. I've been trying to set up my company with my friends and all that, but it wasn't that because of the last time I was living. So you got to pick your lane, innit? Like you cannot be a gangster and an entrepreneur at the same time. You got to just pick your lane, innit? So if you don't want to be gangsters and you want to die horribly one day, then stay as a gangster. I rate you, good, whatever you want to do. But if you actually see the money side of things and how to unify people and everything, then boy, I suggest you leave the street alone and you figure out how to basically, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? How to bridge that gap, in it? Like, because streets is it's not for us, innit? Like, streets don't love no one. Like, it has no love for anyone. So, if truth be told, like, the street game is just, it's not even a fashion no more. So, you lot out of fashion, you lot that trying to be street. You know what I'm saying? It's gone out of fashion. It's like, everyone is trying to do better than being street. So, if you're still trying to be street, like, man are looking at you like, raw, you're still living in the 90s in a way.
What a powerful way to end it. The lifestyle just ends in the prison, police, death, getting shot in the back of your head by a friend. So we like to include a social message on this channel. We've had such an inspirational story from Zoro today with some very important life lessons for young people. So I hope you take it to heart. If you want to reach out to Zoro,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
I got my media company as well, YouTube company. That's going to be coming up soon. Authentic Pan Entertainment.
All
On
right.
YouTube.
So all the links will be in the description box. Huge thanks to Nick. It is what it is TV for coordinating this interview. Link will be in the description box. Huge thanks to Jen for working diligently today. And
Diligently? What, not requesting
sufficient breaks just to get home in time for 8 o'clock on schedule.
Yeah.
Bang on schedule, 5 to 8. look at your face. Jen is the owner of Boomer and Jen Organic Cotton Clothing.
.co.uk.
Link in the description box also. Huge thanks to Joe and James coming out to film this today. Please let us know in the comments what you think. And most of all, huge thank you to Zoro for sharing his story.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, man. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Well done. Yeah. Cheers. Great. Yeah.
Lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's get some
Thank you guys for having us.
Here at Boomer and Jen, we offer a wide range of organic or recycled clothing. We all know our planet is important. We only have this one, so it's vital that we all work together to slow down and reverse the changes to the environment. Whilst we all know that big industry are having a significant effect on pollution, here at Boomer and Jen, we believe that if we all make small changes, we can do our part. Fast fashion causes detrimental effects to the planet. Not only is nearly 20% of global wastewater produced by the fast fashion industry, but there is a considerable amount of fast fashion ending up in landfill. So let's move away from fast fashion items that are only worn once or twice, and start wearing extremely comfortable, durable, and environmentally friendly clothing and ethical jewellery. Boomer and Jen was founded in a quiet town in Devon in 2018. It has now gone from strength to strength as the world is becoming more aware of the current climate situation, helping our customers to buy sustainable, quality clothing. All of our products are fair trade and registered with the Global Organic Textiles Standard Association. Check us out on organiccottonclothing.co.uk.